up, Daniel? Up, Spencer.
Woo! Oh, hey everybody. Good evening, good Saturday evening, pre-49ers, Phillies, Philadelphia, everybody getting ready for that game tomorrow, but we're going to be talking Giants baseball. Welcome to NorCal Sports Network, everyone. Eric Romo, along with myself, Dan Cochimilio, the rest of the gang, Bora and Carlos, they're on assignment tonight. And
all right, then.
So we will have some Giants talk. We'll leave a lot of the 49er talk till tomorrow. It's been talked about ad nauseum all week.
Yeah.
Time to play the game. Shut up and play, right?
There you go. Shut up and do something, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we can break it down, break it down, but it's time to play ball, and won't get too much into the Warriors. That was a tough loss today. Man, did they
blew a 20-plus point lead?
Yeah, another 22-point game or whatever. Just pathetic how they're ahead for 47 minutes and 52 seconds and of the whole game, and then a 3-point shot by Paul George at the, puts them ahead by 1, and then
what's up, Mark?
Warriors can't get it done. Curry driving on Kawhi Leonard, the claw who locks him down, throws it in the corner for a 3-point shot by Draymond that misses, and the Warriors lose by 1. But anyway, and then we had a college wrap-up day. That's going to be fun. Tomorrow, the committee will decide who makes the college football playoff. If it were me, I'm going Michigan 1, Washington 2. Okay, this is where it gets controversial. I like Texas in there. Florida State, I don't know how you penalize Florida State being 13-0. They don't look like a great team offensively. I know they're on their third-string quarterback, but you can't really penalize them. I think I go Texas 3 and Florida State 4, and I leave out Alabama and
Georgia.
There's just no way you can put Alabama ahead of Texas. If that happens, you know what? Just it's screwed.
Riots in the streets.
Texas beat Alabama on Alabama's home field by 10. If that doesn't count, then why even play the stupid game? I mean, Why not just go 13-0 and play Patsy and Jimmy University and soft as Pello College and Auburn had Alabama beat, and
they did. Yeah,
and they should have beat them. And Cal should have beat Auburn this year. They blew it.
They blew it. I remember. Yeah, I remember.
Cal had Alabama or had Auburn beat. That tells you how down the SEC was, in my opinion. The SEC lost a lot of games. Went like 7-9 or something like that against some of the other conferences this year. So hey, SEC, take a bow. You've been in the SEC champion or in the college football championship game every year since the playoffs started. So time for them to take a bow. Georgia didn't get it done. So
nope.
Anyway,
but we're on.
I like Michigan and Washington.
We are on the eve of the good old baseball winter meetings that are happening in Nashville, Tennessee. It's going to be interesting. I think big news is probably going to come out probably Monday, because I guess all the meetings are happening with Shohei this weekend, right?
Yeah. It's going to be. It's interesting. We'll see what happens. I mean, Giants. Here's what the Giants just basically need to do. They just need to go in to that meeting if they already had it, maybe,
Real quick, has there been anyone been reporting? There's nothing against writers writing, "Hey, we've seen this person from this organization in L.A." I mean, has there been any? I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard anything, and
Yeah.
no.
Just
Vicky
wondering.
says, did the Giants do anything yet? No, nothing of significance, Vicky. A couple of more below the radar
Zapucki,
moves by Farhan
Zapucki.
Zapucki and
Oh,
some
and that other kid they picked up off of
guy from
the
Cuba that
Dodgers.
was
Yeah.
was a top 100 prospect years ago and has faded and hasn't done well in the minors. So, nothing to. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But we're gonna pull up. We're gonna make a point how whether you believe the Giants should sign Otani or not is irrelevant. We're going to show you how they can. Okay, I know. I see Eddie K says he prays to God and even Satan that we don't sign Otani.
Well,
Well,
it's yeah. I wouldn't say it's optimal, but the issue I have is if he's the only signing. That's a huge fail. If that's all you're doing, because that's all you're doing
if you
is
do that, you're not. You're just
just trying to put fans in the seats, and that's it. You're not trying to win.
Right.
If you're going to sign him, you're going to also have to open up the pocketbook a lot more and sign a couple of more guys if you want to have this team to win. That's the issue that I have. And you know what? The Giants could do it. I mean, we talked about this yesterday, Dan, me and you. As far as we were doing this offline, we should have done it when we were on live, but talking about the availability of the budget after our beginning in 2025. So there's some room to spend. Yeah, you might have to go over for 2024, but who cares? Because in 2025, there's going to be a lot of cap space. And I'm not saying that we go be the New York Mets, but the Giants are kind of painted in a corner right now. You got some young guys that are up, but you also got to have some veterans, everyday veterans who can play the game at a high level, sprinkled in with the rookies that are coming up. So I think they could make some noise. Doesn't mean they're going to win the NL West, not by a long shot, but hey, at least you make your team a lot more competitive if you spend some damn money. And the Giants have it to spend.
We're going to go to that right now. Is that pulled up?
Yep.
There we go.
You might want to zoom it in just a little bit.
Yeah, I will. Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to look. It's not actually giving me too much to zoom in on. It's not letting me blow it up as much. But we're going to look at the Giants' salary here for 25. Can you guys see that there? It's hard to – darn, it's not letting me blow up this thing as much. What's going on with my – might be just the website. But if you look at 25, the next year the Giants have 142 million committed to the 26-man roster, whatever that is going to be, and about 168 million overall with the 40-man roster. But in 25, there is only 5 people signed right now for 25. And you can't quite make it out there because it's not letting me blow this thing up. Let me see.
You know what? If you could, can you email, because it's an Excel. If you could email that to me, I could put it up as an overlay.
Let me see. How can I do that? Well, let me try that. First, let me go ahead and go over this. Mitch Haniger signed for 25 for $15.5 million. And then you got Taylor Rogers at $12 million, and Logan Webb next year accounts for $12 million. And then it's Wilmer Flores at $33.5 million. And then Luke Jackson
at $2 million.
Actually, is that
yeah, that looks like Luke Jackson.
Wait a minute. Is that a buyout? Let me see. Is that a buyout for Flores at $3.5 million? I think it is. Let me see.
It might be a buyout. Yeah.
I think it's a buyout. And then it's a buyout for Luke Jackson for $2 million in 25. So they basically have 24, 39. They only have about 40 million.
40 million. All right. That, no, of course, that's not including arbitration.
Count the buyouts. It's about $44 million that the Giants have on the books. Now, the arbitration guys would be people like Yaz,
Yaz and
Slater, of
Lamont.
course, Wade. All those guys you don't have to give them a qualifying offer. You can let them go and let them be free agents if you want.
Right.
But they're not going to cost you that much. Yaz is going to cost you the most. He's at $7.9 million this year. So, all right, let's just say they got $40 million on the books. They get
$40
rid
million
of
in 2025.
in 2025. Okay, and they add a little bit more, with their guys with, to make up the rest of the roster. Your Duvals, your Baileys, your
Right.
Harrisons, your Fitzgeralds, and whatever, Meckler, Ramo, whoever's on there, Matos, all those guys, they're going to, another 15. Let's see. You got 5 guys. You got another maybe 15 guys that would probably account for about another 15 million because they're all under the league minimum, at the league minimum. So you're talking about 55 million. You could actually sign Otani for 55 million a year. You could sign Bellinger or Yamamoto at 30 million a year for, let's say, 7 or 8 years. He's only 25 because that's what the rate is. Don't yell at me that that's too much because
that's what they're saying. They're saying everything's starting at 200 million.
Okay, yeah. So that's just the floor. Okay, it's probably going to be closer to 250. So you could go for 30 million a year annual average value, 30 million, 55 for Otani. That's 85 for Yamamoto and Otani. You could go 25 for Bellinger if you wanted to. Bellinger would probably get you 25 million,
I'm thinking
25 million for about 8 to 10 years. Okay, so now you're at 110. And if you want to go sign a Reese Hoskins,
probably could get him at
15 million, right in that range, coming off 15 million for 3 years, 45. Okay, so now you're at 125, and you've added 4 players. You've added 3 guys that can hit the ball
right
out of the park. Tani, Bellinger, and Hoskins, and you've added a first class, an ace to your staff to go along with Webb. This is how you turn a franchise around. So now you've added 125 million to a payroll of about 40 million that's committed. So you could still stay under 200 million.
You stay under 200 million, and you're going to be like 50 million underneath the max. So you got room to make little do your margin moves in.
Yeah, these are what we're trying to do is tell you the Giants can afford to go big this year.
Yes, they can.
They can go very big, and
you know what? Hey, if you want to make a trade for a Rosarena out of freaking Tampa Bay, supposedly they're trying to shop him. I don't know if there's any veracity behind that.
Redo the whole thing.
Why not?
Redo the whole thing.
A Rosarena in left field would be freaking awesome.
A lot of people don't like Bellinger. I get it. He's had one great year after having 2 down years. But you have to look at a couple things about Bellinger. He was an MVP in 2019. 2020 in the fake World Series. Or whatever, I don't know if it was the World Series or the National League Championship Series. I think it was the World Series. He threw his shoulder out after a home run. You got to remember, he hit a home run, and then or somebody hit a home run. I don't know if it was Bellinger or him, but he gave one of those fist bumps and he threw out his shoulder.
Yep, exactly. And that screwed him up for like 3 years.
Not a fist bump, but a shoulder forearm type deal. And you know what he did is he had off-season surgery, played through it in the World Series, and then he came back too soon, and his swing was screwed up.
Yep.
He felt confident enough this past year that he could take a 1-year deal with an opt-out. I guess he got a 2-year, but that he would be, he believed that he didn't want to sign a long-term deal, and he bet on himself and he won. He's still young. I think Bellinger can do okay, but the problem is the problem here is the ballpark, because I don't think you're going to be able to sign Otani or a Bellinger for this ballpark.
And as Lou pointed out, Farhan.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, look. We understand who's the man in charge. We're just giving our
exactly.
This is what they can do. We're not. This is not like it. We're not.
We don't. This isn't what we think they'll do. This is what we say they can do, and what we might do if we were in charge. Pull up the ballpark here. Let's pull up. Let me.
I'll make sure I get this right this time.
All right. So here we go. We got Oracle Park from Google Earth, and we're going to redesign the ballpark.
This one right here.
Yeah, that's the Little Field. Yeah, that's the one where Little Pence plays. Okay, so take that right in the corner there, right there, and jet it straight. Yeah. Okay. Go. No. Don't even go that far.
Oh, you want to go straight diagonal?
Go more 45 along the. Yeah. Go over there. Right. Yeah, right there. To the grass more. Yeah, right. Stay on the grass. Stay on the grass. Don't go to the warning track yet. Stay on the grass. It's not curving, huh?
You want to curve it a little bit more?
Oh yeah, I want you to go.
Oh, you really want to cut this down, huh?
Heck yeah. I want that thing about 365 in the power alleys. Yeah. Go a little bit more left toward the home plate. Keep going toward home plate. Right. Yeah, there you go. Right. Stay on the grass. Right over to the 399. Boom. Right in there.
Let me drag it.
There we go. There's your new ballpark, people.
Right there.
Perfect.
There we go.
Okay, we've got rid of Triples Alley. You got 309 straight down the right field line. You got 365 where the new fence starts, and that is a 7.5 foot high wall or fence, maybe 8 max. I was talking to somebody today. They said, "Can they build that in time?" Oh yeah, that's easy.
They could. It may not be this season, of course, but long as you're telling these players, hey, by next year.
Oh, I would do it right now. It takes. They don't start playing until almost April. Pretty much April. You got 4 months. All you have to do.
Hire Elon Musk. He'll get it done.
Yeah, you can get that. You can get that thing done. Now you went too far over there a little bit. Where'd you go to?
No, I'm just. Yeah, it's just.
Oh, okay. So,
but let's see something here.
You kind of went. You needed to kind of go right to about the 399.
There's home plate. You wanted to take it to 365.
Yeah, see what it does. Yeah,
right there is 365. That's the power alley.
Well, 365 is right there.
Yep.
Right. No, where you started. Here. No, go over.
Yeah, right. Okay.
It should be 365 because that's what it says in the dimensions.
To where again? To this part right here?
Yeah, to the archway.
Right there. Yeah, 364.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But you wanted to take a 365 more over here, or do you want it? Where do you want it out here?
I don't want any more than 375 in right center.
So there's like 370 right there. So 360. So it's kind of about where you wanted it. Right there's 365 for. No. It's if you wanted to put the ball right here, that's where you wanted to have the power alley, right? The ball to end at the power alley.
Yeah, right.
Let me do this. And then what would you
right there? What's it right there?
Well, I can't because it's measuring from. That's measuring from.
Oh,
that's the whole.
Just take the fence. Just keep going, and then where you had it.
Yeah, and then just keep going.
Val Ramos says, "Bring in the fences, and the Giants will lose more games." Dan,
I don't know.
I don't know how you figure that.
You still have the environment of San Francisco. That's still an issue.
Yeah, and you know what? If you've got the players, and you got the type of pitchers that are throwing ground balls, that are sinker ball pitchers, you should still be able to win games. I want some excitement, man. You go to a Giants game and it's a snooze fest to watch this team. You go watch this team, and you spend, $7,000 on a ticket for a season ticket, $14,000 for a couple of more. If you're in certain sections, it's about $12,000-13,000 a ticket down where Lou Marson sits, I believe. So
here, let's take a okay. I'm trying to think.
Where's how many feet right there?
Oh, here you want me? Where do you want me to go from where?
Where are you
right
measuring? You got it measured over, aren't you?
Here, I'll go like this. So you want to go here? Come on. So here's home plate, and then because of course right there.
That's $399, isn't it?
Well, right it there? Shows. No, $390 right here. $399 should be over right there. Yeah, that's $399.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think there should be anything over $400 in the park.
Yeah, this right here, this is what they got to fix right there.
Yeah, they got to get rid of that. I mean, you got the right fielder. Show where the right fielder's always playing. He's always playing.
They're always playing over here. Yeah, he's always over
there. So he's cutting off Triples Alley all the time.
Exactly.
So, since everybody's learned Triples Alley, how to prevent it, it's no longer, it's not much of a Triples Park anymore. Does it look pretty cool from the stands and everything? Yeah, but hey, players don't want to come here.
That's the issue, right? So you're mitigating part of the issue of why why free agent or top hitting free agents don't want to.
Rap Album Depot says this was designed as a tribute to Willie Mays playing center field of the Polo Grounds. Yeah, we've already had that. Rap.
Oh, come on.
I mean, you know what? You want to keep every left-handed power hitter that you try and sign doesn't want to come to San Francisco because it's not a hitter's park.
The reason why Carlos Correa agreed to come here is because he's a right-handed hitter, and for a right-handed hitter, it's easy to hit a home run, right?
I don't know if it's easy, but it's a lot easier. Hey, Ellis Burks did it. Ellis Burks and Jeff Kent didn't have issues as right-handed hitters, and we know Barry Bonds. There's no park that could hold.
Pete Alonso doesn't seem to have a problem. Paul Goldschmidt never had a problem. Who else?
Nolan
Arenado.
Arenado. There we go. Yeah. I mean, guys, left-handed. I mean, right-handed power hitters. Yeah, it's the lefties, guys. It's the lefties. Brandon Belt had so many balls die in deep right center.
I agree with you, Rap. They have to develop hitters, and that's something that they haven't done. So this is the problem. This is where Farhan has painted this team in a corner. If you're not developing your farm system, now you're going to have to rely on free agents to come in here to do the heavy lifting because you haven't developed your guys. Look at our guys compared to some of these other teams. I mean, some of these other teams, they have some outstanding development going on in their organizations. And we got guys, give them some time and they'll probably develop a little bit more, but they came up just maybe a tad bit early. But Farhan has had 5 years. This is the issue that I always have. We're going into year 6 now. So something needs to be changed. Something has to happen. Unless you want the San Francisco Giants to continually finish at 4th or 5th in the NL West for the next, 5 years?
Yeah.
There's going to have to be a change. And right now, at this point in time, the Giants have the money to go out there and get these guys. And you know what? If you pay these guys, you're able to get them. Hopefully that gives you enough time to hit on the draft the next 2 or 3 years. And by the time those guys that you signed before their power starts to wane because of, just their years, you got the young guys that could come up and fill those spots. So, I mean, there's an opportunity here, whether or not the Giants take advantage. Now, Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I'm reading Eddie K's comments that says, it's not the park, it's the team. Players are scrubs. Plenty visiting teams come and kick our ass so players can master this park. It's our players that just can't. Yeah, that's why we're advocating for getting new players. Yeah, I mean, you either got to develop them, which is the plan A. Plan A is develop your own players and get your own crop of guys that can hit. If you can't develop hitters, then you better go trade for them. I've suggested that they go trade some of their better pitching stuff and go after guys like Evan Carter and Wyatt Langford of the Texas Rangers. Those are the type of hitters that you got to build around. But the Giants don't seem to do that. And so you've got to figure out how to get players some way. What do the Giants have that an abundance of is money.
Yes.
That's
That's
why
their
if you look at the
strength.
thumbnail, you see a bunch of money.
Yeah, exactly.
The Giants have money.
They're flush.
Okay. They're loaded. They're sitting on a gold mine there with all that property and the parks paid for.
And not forget that the San Francisco Giants are a historically,
It's an
fantastic
all-time
organization.
franchise.
Exactly.
It's
It's
just
right up there with the
Farhan
New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox and the Chicago Cubs, St. Louis Cardinals,
and the
San
Dodgers.
Francisco Giants.
Yeah, Giants are in the top 5, 6 franchises all of baseball. If you want to look
go
at
out there and
history,
act like it. Go out there and act like you're a top 5 freaking team. Don't act like you're the damn Oakland Ballers.
Yeah. This is what they have to do. And this has been Farhan's deal.
Yes.
It's been ownership, frankly. It's been ownership and it's been Farhan, and they've been an embarrassment. And they need to go, go spend some money. You need a guy with a mindset that is like that has the attitude. I'm not saying some people in this chat will probably not like him, but Elon Musk, when advertisers were holding him hostage, like
go F yourself. Yeah.
Saying, hey, we're going to stop advertising if you do that. He says, like, you're going to hold me hostage? Don't have. He says, go F yourself is what he told him.
He did,
repeated
literally.
it. You know what?
He said it twice, yeah.
Yeah. That's what, he's not going to be held. He's like, you going to hold me hostage over money? No. That's what the Giants' attitude needs to be. You know what? We got so much money. We're going to spend it.
And you know what? Someone needs to sit down. I don't know if it has to be Farhan or someone else. Sit down with Greg Johnson. Hey, Greg, we're going to spend a lot of money this year. 2024, we know where we may hit the tax. But in 2025, we could be way under the cap. Even though we're going to be over in 2024. We'll be fine. Someone needs to explain that to him. Hopefully
I think they know that. I think they definitely know that. They know their books. Elon killed Twitter and lost $60 billion, turning into whatever. Okay, yeah. There's always, like I said, there's going to be some that don't like it. Some do, whatever.
Whatever. I mean, to each their own.
Yeah. So, no, I just say this: the Giants have the ability to, if you want a competitive, and you know what? I know there's some people who say that, oh, we don't want Otani. You know what? If you get Otani, you're not going to be complaining. You're not going to be complaining because you know what? And the bottom line is he's going to be a great player for the next 4 or 5 years at least.
Yes, he's going to tail off. I get that. Yeah. But you're paying for that 4 to 5 years. Exactly.
Yeah. And you know what? You want to continue to go down this guy's an historic ball player. He's maybe one of the top 3 players to ever play the game.
Exactly. We're talking.
Giants have had Mays and Bonds. I mean, we're talking, this guy's up there with Bonds and Ruth and Mays and what he can do. And don't remember.
Hey, let's get Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rap.
So, I mean, yeah, exactly. Getting Otani forces the Giants
to spend on another player. Exactly.
That's what we're saying.
That's the issue. Yes.
We're I like that D shot. Bare knuckle fight, me and Greg. I got one good eye though, man. I'm like, I better become a southpaw, otherwise I might get bopped on my side here. It's just, I would expect. Okay, if the Giants sign somebody like Bellinger in the next day or two, I would think there's a shot at Otani. And I don't know if Bellinger's made a commitment through Scott Boras, say you get Otani, we'll sign, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. But I don't think Otani is interested in coming here without any
help.
With help.
He needs help. Yeah.
And of course, Eric Hernandez makes a really good point there. You want them going to the Dodgers? You just assured yourself you're not going to see the playoffs.
Oh.
You're not even going to sniff the playoffs probably because you're going to get killed by LA with Freeman, Betts, and Otani.
And if you guys are mistaken, if the Dodgers, you don't think the Dodgers are going to spend because they got a bunch of money freed up as well. We looked at that.
Yeah, the Dodgers got a bunch in 25 freed up. Even next year, they've got money available for this coming year, 24.
They're going to make a push.
I mean, if the Dodgers land, you don't want to see facing Yamamoto and Otani for the next,
God,
5+ years. I mean, it's like, forget it. Okay, the Giants have to drive up the price high enough that if the Dodgers do get him, that they're putting themselves in a financial mess going forward. You can only hope that's what they do. So, yeah, Farhan will get the no text at 3 a.m. like last year.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I'm not getting my hopes up at all. I'm not even paying attention to the rumors because I don't trust all the rumors anyway.
Yeah. And beat writers, somebody's beating like John Heyman. I don't know, man.
If you're not going to get Otani, you better go get 5 or 6 guys.
Yep.
You better get. I mean, I think the plan would be, hey, go get the kid Rodriguez, like Los talked about. Go get Stroman and go get Yamamoto and put all your money there. Then you got an unbelievable starting pitching, and now you've got an abundance of pitching. You can trade from some of your younger guys and bring in some position players that way. That's another way of doing it. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat, right?
Yeah.
They say the Giants have flexibility. They just got to have a plan and execute it. They got to have a plan A and a plan B. If Otani not going, if he's their plan A, which it sounds like it is, they've got to pivot so quickly that they sign boom, 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 boom. They sign 4 or 5 guys just like that. Okay, here's our offer. We're going after. We got Stroman, Rodriguez, and Yamamoto. Boom, we got those guys. Now we've got whether you want Bellinger or not, you do need some position players. Okay.
Yes. And here's the problem. D-Shot's saying this. He said he'd rather have a couple of position vets, a couple of startings, than get one guy for a shit ton of money. But here's the problem. You pulled this up yesterday, Dan. This free agent class, there's not a whole lot of veteran position players.
I don't like it at all.
That's the issue.
There's Otani, there's Bellinger
and Hoskins.
And this is how bad the class is. Chapman's listed as like the 3rd position player on the want list.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. Matt Chapman, pull up his hold on.
I'll pull it up. You want to you gonna do it? I can do it.
Yeah, pull up his stats from last year. I think he hit in the low 200s. If I'm not mistaken. Maybe he hit 250. I don't know. I think
it was like 240.
I thought I want to see his Ks. You can pull him up on Baseball Reference.
What I'm doing right now.
And I want to look at Matt Chapman's strikeouts. I want to see.
Here's his the general info real quick first, and then we'll get into that. There you go.
Okay.
That was too much. Cut it off. Okay, so 2023, he batted 240, had 17 home runs.
I mean, J.D. Davis. That's J.D. Davis numbers.
Yeah, that's.
Why are you going to pay a guy $25 million?
His on base, he had a decent on base.
What's his on base? 330. All right, let's see how many Ks.
Now,
let's see his whole.
Let's go to 2023 here. All right, strikeouts, 165 strikeouts.
X that out over there in the corner there, that little ad right there. There we go.
100 there. I highlighted the year.
165 strikeouts? My goodness.
Yep.
All right, 755 OPS. That's nothing. You got to be over 8 if you're going to be getting paid that much money. Come on.
And if you go back, I mean, look at. I'm not going to look at 21 through 23. 210, 229, 240.
Okay, he's a 230 hitter the last 3 years. Okay?
Exactly.
He's a 230 hitter.
His
And he's-
OPS plus is average to above.
His OPS is, right in around in the last couple of years, averaging about
Average.
740. His
Strikeouts. Whew.
his Ks,
But that doesn't matter no more. I know.
200, 170. Oh, come on.
I know.
Okay. You know what? Give me contact hitters. I mean, Casey Schmidt can do that.
Exactly.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. Give Casey Schmidt the run at third base. Just do it. Right?
Absolutely. I'd rather have Schmidt play there than Chapman.
Exactly.
No, please, please, please.
If you want to upgrade the infield, then upgrade first base.
Yeah. I mean, Hoskins ain't a great defender, but his bat, it's a right-handed bat.
Bellinger can also play at first base too.
I mean, here, let me give you a potential lineup. What I would, if I was running this show. Okay, some people are going to disagree with me on Otani, but I'm going with the best player in baseball. Okay, I'm just not going to just have a shot at him and just say I don't want him. When you can afford him. Okay, I'm leading off. I'm gonna. I don't know who my leadoff hitter is yet. Don't really have an ideal one right now. But
okay,
I would try to trade for like a Jazz. Well, you're not gonna if you get Bellinger, forget it. Okay, so I'll figure out an.
Here, I'm about to type this out here.
Who's in the lineup that can lead off?
You know what? This is what we need to figure out, guys. Let me see how big the font is going to be on this.
You know what? I'm okay with Lamont Wade leading off, and I'll stick him in left field. How's that?
There you go. Hold on.
Okay. Batting second, I'll go with Otani.
Hold on one second. So batting, oh mother. Hold on one second.
Lamont Wade.
Who's leading off?
I'll put Wade. He's a good leadoff hitter.
Wade. Okay.
Takes pitches, gets on base.
Second is Otani.
Second is Otani. Third, you ready?
Yep.
Is Hoskins.
Okay.
Fourth is Bellinger, center field.
Okay. I'm just I'm just doing a lineup. I'm not going to worry about position right now.
Okay.
Fifth.
Fifth is.
You got to have protection for.
Who's that? Who did I have fourth?
Belly. You got Belly hitting fourth. Cleanup.
All right. I'd be making a trade. Let me see. Who can I get and playing right field? Well, just put Estrada there for now.
Yep.
Sixth.
Schmidt or further down?
Further down. I'm going to put Schmidt seventh. I'll put Bailey sixth. Another
Bailey?
lefty. Bailey.
Oh, Bailey, then Schmidt.
Seven, then Luciano. 8 and 9. What are we missing?
DH,
here?
Right? Or who's the
No,
DH?
we already got Otani.
Got it. That's right.
Who's our right fielder? Do we have a right fielder?
Oh, Conforto.
I guess you got Conforto. You know what? Yep. You could probably put Conforto in that lineup.
Actually, maybe put Conforto sixth.
Yeah, put Conforto 6.
Schmidt 7th, and then Bailey 9th. No, or Luciano 9th.
Either or. Yeah, either or. Put
Bailey.
It gives you a little bit. Yeah, in that lineup, Conforto probably can, be able to do something. Yeah.
So let me do this here. So this is what we got. That's not a bad looking lineup. Now, you take out Otani, Hoskins, and Bellinger. That lineup looks pretty bad.
Oh, it's just.
I mean,
it's 2020. It's the 23 Giants.
Exactly.
You're in fourth place.
Do that again. You can't. And who else is out there that you're gonna be for the 2, 3, and 4? Who are you gonna go out there and get to do that?
If I had time to work through this, I'd be making a trade for a right-handed
like that.
power. I'd be making a trade for a right-handed power hitter to put in that fifth spot, and I would move.
You could go out and get Soler. I mean, he's a big
You know,
right-handed.
he's not a great outfielder though.
No,
He needs some
he would be a
defense.
DH.
Yeah, and you already
But
got a DH because Otani's got
exactly.
to be the DH. So I would do, if I could get me a Luis Robert type or something like that,
Ooh,
for a
I don't think the
Conforto.
Giants have the capital to do that, though. That's the problem.
You could do it maybe with a Conforto and a Harrison or something like that.
Now
know.
that would be something. I really don't want to give up Wizenhunt.
I don't want to give up Wizenhunt either. I don't really want to give up Harrison either. But you got to give up something to get something. You can't just make trades that are one sided.
I still like that Rosarena though.
Rosarena for Tampa Bay would be great in right field. Put him in right field,
awesome,
and Tampa's the type of team. Maybe with Tampa, maybe they like young guys. They like to have them under control. They don't like to pay guys once they get close to becoming.
Maybe send that Reggie Crawford.
There's
part of. Hayden Birdsong, or they might want someone bigger than that.
Yeah.
But
Haniger should be get traded. I agree.
I agree.
Well,
we
what?
don't even have Haniger in here.
That's right. I mean, Haniger, you could put in this lineup. You could fit him in the fifth spot, and then you would have
platoon him with Conforto. Probably
you would Conforto could be traded. I don't know. I mean, Conforto and Wade. You don't have a real leadoff type hitter in this team. Even Wade's not the ideal leadoff hitter.
No, but he gets a lot of pitches.
Walks. He's better, and he's better than what anything else they have.
Yes.
So unless they're going to go get a Jazz Chisholm type that's a speedster, but see what you've got there is you've got some power. Otani, Hoskins, Bellinger. There's three guys that can really bop the ball, and then Conforto can pop it, and it's possible that Luciano can be a close to it if he plays every day, a 20 home run guy. But they've got to change this up. Haniger, someone says, Rob C says he would be your right-handed power hitter. Yeah, you got Hoskins in there, and and now your bench becomes a lot more valuable too, because now your bench you've got Flores that could come in and pinch hit. You've got JD Davis that could, step in if someone's not doing the job in the infield.
But this is the lineup that has to come out every day, not this damn every day where it changes depending on who the hell's pitching.
Right. Exactly.
Man.
And, you could, you could do.
You know what though? It's not the organization that's breaking these news. I was talking to someone on Twitter yesterday. It's because someone said, "Oh, the Giants are the only ones who are obeying Otani's wishes." No, there's no club out there saying that they're in on it. It's the damn baseball writers. That's the people and content creators like us. We're the ones out there saying this stuff. It's not the teams that are saying anything.
What's Cam Tyson got here? What's this? Come on, get up there. There we go. What's he got? TE. What's that? Tight end?
Tyro Estrada.
Oh, okay. Okay. There we go. Tyro Estrada. What's 4? I don't get what's the 4? Oh, at second base. Okay. Bellinger. Yeah, I thought about flipping Belly and Belly in center, Shohei DH batting third, Hoskins 4. I might flip Hoskins and Shohei just to have I like the right left type deal a lot of times. Conforto in right field. Wait a minute. Oh, Conforto right field / DH. Haniger in left field. Luciano at short. Bailey at catching, and then Schmidt. I think he meant Bailey at the 2 spot. He's got an
2.
8 there. I think he meant a 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course he did. Bailey can't play anywhere else. Breaking news, the beam has been lit. Yes, Sacramento beat the Pelicans tonight. Um,
That's pretty good, MF. I like that.
Got him drunk. There we go.
Okay, Rob, what are you talking about, buddy? We already have a good lineup. Longoria won.
This is his joke. This is a joke.
Okay, yeah. Gotta be. And then, of course, the rotation. Heck, if you could get Yamamoto, you got Webb, Yamamoto, Harrison, and then the back two, you got young guys in the farm. I mean, if you want to get,
and if you consider Cobb a trade line acquisition, because he'll be coming back.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. 35.
Who knows what position he's gonna be?
Right.
Robert Rothberg in the house. Next year will be a giant redemption.
Well, we're laying the blueprint, Robert. This is what you cannot argue with us on this. We're laying down the blueprint that could make this team successful.
Okay. Eric Hernandez, where are you going to play all these guys? Alonso, Hoskins, and Otani. You got 2 first basemen and 3 DHs. I mean, they all can DH. You can't have Hoskins and Alonso and Otani because Otani can only DH. So what are you going to do? Put Reese at short? Alonso in center field? I mean, you can't that nice thought though with the bats. I see where you're going with the bats, but there's no place to play those guys. You got to realize if you get Otani, he is your everyday DH. He isn't doing anything else, especially with his rotator cuff, or not rotator cuff, but Tommy John.
Yeah,
elbow. He's not playing in the field.
They never came out and said it was Tommy John, but yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
We're not believing it. Look, okay, the real quick, Senior. We're just talking about what we would like to see. Now, let's get in reality. What do you think it's going to be? It's probably going to be Chapman. And what is it? Chapman, Kiermaier, and who was the other guy?
Flaherty.
Yeah, that's probably what it's going to be. So
I think those are your 3 guys, and you don't. That's what my instinct tells me that what will end up happening, something along those lines. You can put Flaherty, you can make it Waka, you can make it somebody along those lines, but I see Flaherty as a giant. I see Kiermaier as a giant or someone like him, and I see Chapman as a giant, and that's what I think they will do.
And if that's the case, we're gonna go full on.
Yeah, we'll go nuclear. Yeah. So we'll see where this thing goes.
The thumbnail is going to look something like this, right? Hold on. Remember our fantasy football?
No.
Yeah.
No, look at
Farhan will be in it. Absolutely, but the title will be different. Yes.
Oh man. Speaking of fantasy, we got another day tomorrow, man.
Yep, another day.
Another day tomorrow. How I got a shot to overtake Lowe's for 3rd place.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for Lowe's. These last couple of weeks for Lowe's has been tough.
Yeah.
He's lucky he got a win against me. It could have been even worse.
Oh yeah. Darn. Yeah. Is Will B in the house?
I think I saw him. Hey, Will, you out there? I thought I saw him tweet or not tweet. I thought I saw him in the chat a minute ago. Yeah.
Will B, say hello if you're out there. Just give us a thumbs up or something. Will B, calling Will B.
We could always throw the link out there if anyone wants to join.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. We'll have a joiner tonight. Calling Will B. Will B being paid.
White courtesy phone.
Will B. Your We lost your. We have an item up here. Will B. Looks like buying a jock strap. Will.
What the hell?
A jock strap. Is this yours, Will B? I don't see Will in the house anymore. We called him
Well,
out.
that's the issue. I'm saying, D-Shot. If it's just Otani and nobody else, it's a fail. I've said that. It's a fail.
Yeah, it's a fail because it won't do anything for on the field. They'll still be a fourth place team. They'll just have some a little bit more fan interest for a while. Giants can't be that brain dead to think that's all they need to do. And Otani's not going to fall for it. I mean, you could have Otani news any day now.
Any day.
And this is why I don't understand. This was my beef with Farhan last year, is he waited and waited and waited on Judge movement, and then everything else was getting picked over because he wasn't talking to the Trey Turners, and he wasn't talking to the Dansby Swansons, and the Correa thing was an overreaction. It's like, oh gosh, we got to do something. And because after Bogart signed for $12 million, it was like, okay, well, here's 13 years for $350 for Correa. But anyway, there's Will B.
He's out there.
I can't.
Hey, what's up, Robert? Last year, Shohei Otani struck out 143 times.
That's not bad.
But you know what else he did? He hit 44 home runs. He batted .304, had an on-base percentage of .412, OPS plus of 184, and OPS of 1.066. Not to mention,
Robert, come on,
he pitched.
Strikeouts?
Not to mention that he pitched. So these numbers are going to go up the times that he's not going to pitch it, because now he's not going to be exerting himself. And let's not forget, he also got his second MVP this year. Come on, Robert. Come on, Robert.
Oh man.
Exactly, Hoodie. That's the point I was making.
Oh man, there is a I.
Oh, Grand Admiral Shanahan says, what lefty reliever? Scott Alexander wasn't bad. He got a little bit tired, I think, at the end of the year. But no, not you, not Robert Boyd. No. When I'm yelling at Roberts, I'm yelling at Robert Rothberg. So no offense there, Robert Boyd. You're all good. All the Roberts in the world are going to be like, what the hell did I do to this guy?
Tell me.
And it's a high possibility, yes, that Farhan will fail. Yes.
Tell me this guy didn't do steroids. Come on. That's a young Kapler. No baseball player looks like that. You think? That's a roid body. That's a roid body, man. Eric's choking up, man. He got all choked up.
He's not balancing the smoke.
Yeah. Hey, Will B, man, I need to win 2 games. And I need you to lose one. Can you do me a favor and lose one? I want to try and win the next 2 and get a bye. Take that. Looks like the bye's coming down to. Looks like Heroku's going to win the league. I don't see. He's already pretty much assured himself a bye. I think if you look at it, but. Anyway, the
link is out there, guys, if you guys want to join.
Yeah, link's out there. We're not going to go a whole lot longer. We've been going 55 minutes already. Gosh,
yeah, it went by quick. Quick.
So we'll probably only go another 30 minutes or so, unless you guys. Hey, oh, by the way, guys, we got 66 in the chat. We need to. Hey, everybody, create another
Another account.
Another
We are
account, man.
close.
We are so close to getting over 1,000. We've got so much more we can do once we hit 1,000 that
We're at 968.
Can we get to 1,000 tonight? If everybody that's in here right now would create another account,
We would. Yes, we would.
Just go open. I've got a few accounts.
What's up, Glass Half Full? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you back, man.
There we go. Yeah. Yes. Hope they land a big hitter pitcher. They can't.
Times two. Times two.
Can't strike out this year, man. Cannot strike out again.
You can't.
I mean,
that's unacceptable. If he does, he needs to get fired.
Come on. Jeez. It's like, so we laid it out there in the beginning of the show, what the Giants can do financially. It's available.
It's out there. It's doable. We're not, like I said, we're not talking about being the Mets and spending almost $300 million. Come on.
Yeah. I wonder what Kapler's videos are going to be like in Miami, if they're going to be like fishing reviews. Caught this big
marlin
off the coast and took it home and balanced the smoke and put a little sauce on it. And man, this thing was you're talking about the marlin of marlins here. Jeez.
No, Otani will never be the offensive. Who? Come on.
If I'm Farhan, I'm calling Gabe up. I know he's only the assistant GM. Say, hey, give me Chisholm and Alcantara. We'll give you Slater since you think he's the best pinch hitter.
There you go. Yeah.
He's the best pinch hitter, and you can even have your pick. We'll give you two more. You can have Yaz, Conforto, or Haniger. You get 3 of the 4. Your pickings. If you don't take them, I'm telling everybody that you'd ever managed it all. I called all the shots, and that you were just a de facto manager, Gabe. You'll never get another manager's job because you sold your soul. You took directions from everything I told you to do, from when to take a pitcher out, when to pinch hit, who to play, who not to play. You were just a robot out there, Gabe, and I'm spilling the beans. So give me Alcantara and Chisholm, or you're done.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Come on, guys. Who wants to come in?
Come on, everybody. Who's coming in? I'm going to say I've got one of 2 people coming in. I'm going to type it right now. Can you? Let me put it in the private chat. I'll tell you, it's either going to be.
I got a feeling. I hope not, Robert. I hope he doesn't.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, same too?
Yep. That's
really?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Let's see if we're right.
Let's see.
Oh, I got to go take my allergy pill. My eyes starting to water again. Hold on, be right back.
Go for it. Pretty good, Mark. Oh, man. Will the Niners win? Yeah, it's going to be a good game. I think so, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. As a truck driver, I can. Yeah, I can understand that. Keep your eyes on the road, man. I'm currently balancing the smoke. Oh, brother. Hey, Will, I was thinking about doing a show tomorrow. What do you think? Still -3 for the line. All right. That hasn't moved at all, has it? I think that stayed the same throughout the whole week. Yeah, exactly. This, I mean, don't get me wrong. Trades can happen all the way up until spring training, even during spring training. But yeah, this coming up week, that's where I think majority of your moves will happen. We'll see what happens. Hopefully the Giants are going to do something. Ugh. I ain't going to have my hopes up, but we'll see. Oh, is it raining up there, Will? It rained out here earlier. It's not raining now, though. We had some rain early this morning. All right. Hey, we got someone that joined. Look who's here. What's up, Los?
Hey, boys. What's going on?
How's it going?
Oh, not much. Not much. Just getting home, out with some friends,
Nice.
having a good time.
Good deal.
What
And
are
now
you guys talking about? Catch me up.
Good old Giants, kind of. What we're talking about is not necessarily for 2024, but from the years of 2025 onwards, the Giants have a shit ton of money. They got basically 55 million committed in 2025. I think the CBT in 2025 is going to be like around 250, maybe somewhere around there. So you got 200 million. And we were doing the math. If we signed a whole bunch of these free agents, we'll still be like 50 million underneath the cap. So it's like, hey, how about we just get bold? Because this is what Farhan has, has dealt us basically. You have to use the money right now because we don't have a farm that's strong enough to put out a lineup that's going to compete. If you want to compete now and put out a winning team, use your strength, and your strength right now is money. And then say these next 2 or 3 years, you got to hit on every draft. So then when those contracts start, showing their wear and tear, you can bring in those young guys who can, fill the void. Whether or not though,
is it true the numbers that I'm hearing is 12 and 600 mil for Otani?
I heard the last I saw was it's going to be well above 500 million. And what does well above mean? I even said that. I said it may hit 600 million, and that's possible. You're muted, Dan.
Look who's here.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan.
Hey. I didn't expect. I thought you were on assignment, man.
Yeah. I was when you hit me up. I didn't think I was gonna, but party kind of ended a little bit early. So
okay, cool.
Had my adult beverages a little bit early this evening, so I'm coming down a little bit now.
Oh, fair enough.
Don't want to come on the show intoxicated.
Whoa, yeah.
Because intoxicated Los really gets a little bit out there as far as saying things. I'd be going crazy about contracts. Like, what? 600 million for Otani? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how much I feel about that.
But you know what? I honestly 600 million for Otani. That's
here's
a tough swallow.
I just think an Otani contract, if they signed him right now for 12 years, so that puts him at age 42. I think you would get 3, maybe 4 years out of him, and you'd have 8 bad years. That's what you would get. It'd be Albert Pujols all over again.
Would it be better to get the highest AAV with a shorter amount of time though?
Oh, that's ideal. More, yeah. If you do like
so maybe go 8 years, but you're paying them a shit ton. I don't
remember my 75 million a year, but
yeah.
But I mean, if you could go the plan we put together, Los, and we had it up here, and I just lost it. But we were showing the Giants in 25. Next year, their payroll's about 150-ish right now currently. But in 25, they've only got 40 million committed to like 5 players.
And 55 million with all the arbitration, right?
Yeah, you figure all that stuff, and they and some of your younger players, you're probably about 60, 70 million. The Giants could add Otani, Yamamoto. Otani for 55 million a year, Yamamoto for 30. That's 85. You can add Bellinger for 25. That's 110. And you can add Hoskins for 15. You're at about 125. We even put a lineup out. Show them. Do you have that lineup out there?
Mm-hmm.
We actually made a lineup, and this actually the lineup becomes actually much more competitive. Take a look at that, Los.
That's a competitive lineup.
Why is Otani hitting second?
I just put him second because that's where he was with the Angels. It seems like that's the place where the best hitters going now. A lot of teams are using, their best hitter in the 2-hole. You could flip him. You could flip him to. You could move Estrada up. You could do all kinds of things. But
he's going to be the only 300 hitter on the damn team.
I like Otani in the second because you get him more bats up in the game. You get him up in the 9th inning a lot of times when it just turns the lineup over more.
So in 2021, Otani hit 257, 46 homers, and 100 RBIs. So he hit 257. Last 2 years, he hit better as far as average-wise goes. So I'm just putting myself in the negotiating room. Otani and his agent are going to say the value of us getting 12 years and $600 million is we're a pitcher and a hitter, right? That's his value. I'm a starting pitcher, dominant, and I'm one of the best hitters in the league, right? So he's not going to pitch next year. Whether he pitches after that, who knows? His arm may be damaged goods. I like the idea that Bora mentioned about maybe using him as a closer, so there's not so much wear and tear in his arm, so you get something out of him as far as pitching goes. Because let's say you do sign him, and 2 or 3 years from now, his arm's done. He can't pitch anymore. So now you just got him as a hitter. Okay. You know how I feel about if you give a guy that kind of superstar money, you better have a lineup around him, or you are really, really
correct.
spending a lot of money.
Right.
On a guy that's going to walk a lot. You just have to.
And I said that, Los. I said if all they get is Otani and that's it, it's a fail.
That's why I'm a big advocate of $60 million a year could get you Yamamoto, could get you Stroham, could probably get you Eduardo Rodriguez, and who knows, maybe you might even slide Hoskins in there. Maybe 70 million would get you 4 players. So let's talk about that. Would everybody want Otani and that's it, or would you rather get 2 to 3 pitchers and Hoskins?
Oh yeah, we kind of covered that because we feel like if it's just Otani, it's a waste. You can't just get Otani. He's not going to sign either if you just get Otani. And I think if you're negotiating with Otani, and you get into a negotiation with Otani that's anything negative, that's like if you're trying to downplay his numbers in negotiations because of his pitching and the uncertainty, I think you're dead. I think you're talking about a different culture of a guy who's they're going to be offended by that. And I think the only way you get Otani is if whatever he wants, you meet it plus some.
The only thing, Senior, real quick, we got to do more with the lineup. Otherwise, you're just adding Hoskins to the 2023 lineup. That's not going to do nothing.
Yeah, if you just,
I don't think it's going to do anything.
Unless you take that, unless you take that pitching, that if you get Snell, Stroman, and Hoskins, if you take some of the excess minor league pitching and turn it into some everyday ball players through trades,
right?
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
That's why I always believe in loading up. Let's use a fantasy football analogy here, because everybody knows I like to make a trade.
No.
When you're looking at your lineup, fantasy football lineup, what are you looking to trade out of your excess? And let's say you have a hole at running back. It's like, gosh, I'm pretty weak at running back, but I'm really strong here. Well, then you're going to use some of your excess strength to get you a running back. You're not going to get, to use an example, a healthy Jonathan Taylor for a Najee Harris, for example. Hey, give me CMC for Najee Harris. It's just not gonna. You're not gonna get that. You're gonna have to give up something. If you want to give up, if you want something of that you're weak in, you're going to have to give up. You're not going to give up something out of your weakness to get a strength. You're going to give up one of your strengths where you have excess strength. Okay, and the Giants' only strength is pitching. They have no, maybe Luciano's a piece. Okay, maybe he brings you something. Maybe a
Reggie
combination.
Crawford, I think
Maybe
he might be able to get you
He's
something.
pitching again.
Yep.
Pitching is they got Wisenhunt, they got Harrison, they got Crawford, they got Black, they got
Birdsong.
Birdsong, they got a couple
who's
other
that?
guys.
Lope, not Lope. Who is? Damn it, I can't remember. Senior. Who was that? Kid in Richmond. Starts with an L. I can't remember what his name is. Roop. Landon Roop.
Oh, Landon Roop. Yeah.
Yep.
Starting to sound like Lope. Loose. Lope. Lope. Loose. Roop. Rope.
What do you think, Bub? What do you think about Bub's comment there?
I'm glad he put that up because I'm a finance and a mortgage guy, so
Yep.
I'm a numbers guy. Numbers have to make sense for me to do it. So that what he wrote and a breakdown is excellent. Great job, Bub. And from a financial point of view, it makes sense. I just don't want. Larry was on here a few days ago, and he kind of intimated a lot about bringing Otani is going to help ticket sales. It's going to help this and that. Great. But the three of us hosting and nobody in the chat works for the Giants. We're not going to get any piece of the pie because the Giants are selling more tickets. What are all of we? We're all fans. We want to see the team win, and
Yes.
winning
solves everything.
I keep saying this, the 2010 Giants starting lineup was kind of boring.
Yeah.
I don't need to repeat the whole Andres Torres, Freddie Sanchez, Aubrey Huff, Pat Burrell, Cody Ross. Not exactly a bunch of Hall of Famers in there. Buster Posey, okay, I'll give you that. 1 out of 9. So my point is was the stadium packed or not when they were winning?
Yes,
it was.
Yeah, 7 straight years sellouts.
Yeah, so if Larry's maybe suggesting, and I know he wants them to win, I'm not saying that, or anybody else is saying to get Otani because of ticket sales, then great. But if, like you guys are saying earlier, if that's the only piece you get, you're going to be a 500 team, a little bit more than a 500 team with them because
these numbers, Bub Rad, I went over this
a couple of months ago.
Months ago.
I told you that I would, I said give him $75 million for 8 years. That's $600 million, right? Did I do my math right?
I think it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I just say shorter contract, $75 million, because it puts he pays for himself with.
Yes.
He brings in over $100 million alone with revenue, with ticket sales, with the merchandise, with concessions, all that stuff. He brings in well over $100 million, pays for himself, and I'd give him the 85. I'd give him, if you wanted to go short term, $600 million, $75 million a year with an opt out after 3 years. We'll buy you out at $50 million. That way, the Giants get him for 4 years for 3 years for $200 million. And you know what? If the Giants, he ain't walking out of that contract. I'm telling you, if the Giants are winning.
So I'll push back a little bit on that and say, if the Giants had the forethought to think this, they always want to get a player after they blow up, after they're great. It's like getting an Amazon stock at $400 a share.
Right.
Why didn't you get Otani when he first came out? And then he could have.
Well, they couldn't, Los, because
the
DH wasn't in the National League.
Okay, that's fair. So let me counter since Plan 1 didn't work. Yamamoto, he's 25.
Mm-hmm.
What if you get him and he blows up? Maybe not to the degree that Otani is and that he's a hitter and a pitcher, but what if he blows up and becomes literally one of the best pitchers in the league? Isn't that going to put, maybe a little bit of the Asian community into the seats? A little bit. That's going to help, right? And he's going to help you win. So I'm just saying Otani is like they're taking a big risk.
I tell you
know
what,
the numbers will add up and everything like that, but
it isn't that much of a risk when you consider the
they have to
financial.
win. They
Well,
have
here's
to
the-
win.
and here's the deal.
And with Mike Trout hitting behind him, they didn't win. The Angels.
Yeah, but the Angels have nothing. They had no
didn't win.
pitching.
And the
They
Giants
had
have nothing.
The Giants have pitching, and they have pitching
Weapons.
coming, and the Giants need to build. They need to
They
build.
need to. I agree.
They need to build. I mean, the best way to build a team is, we've said it over and over and over again, is build from within.
Yes.
You know, build
Correct.
up your pitching, develop your players, and, you know, draft, develop, and get enough guys that hit. When I say hit, they make it. That you've got yourself a lineup and enough guys that are behind them that become trade assets. That's how you conquer, and that's how you stay financially alive. Is you're not, I mean, the Braves are pretty well set because they developed and they signed all these guys for 8 years or more.
That's how you do it.
At really great deals.
And here's the deal. Okay, I 100% agree. Winning solves everything. You got a fan base who's excited. You got an organization who's going to be raking in money. I mean, it's everybody's happy, right? But the problem is right now that the current situation with the Giants, you have to be situational. That you have to. The strength right now is they got the money to spend, and right at this specific time, right now, they have to be able to spend that money to make this team competitive. Otherwise, you're going to be battling for 4th or 5th place in the National League West for the next 3 or 4 years, right? I mean, we're not. The current organization is not at the position within its organization in the depth of its prospects to be able to compete. You just can't do it. And look, the team. Look, this is the San Francisco Giants, the 5th richest team in all of baseball. They can spend plenty of money and not feel any pain. Let's be honest, right? I mean, they got this real estate stuff going where they're bringing in millions and millions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this isn't
the
Padres.
They got the money.
They got the money. And I agree. You should.
But you got to spend wisely. Even if you have money, you got to spend wisely.
I 100% agree.
Yes. A lot of these superstar athletes, like, they make a lot of money and then they're filing for bankruptcy years later. You got to spend wisely. Not that the Giants are ever going to go bankrupt, but I'm just saying.
Right.
Just because you have a ton of it doesn't mean, okay.
And I agree.
Spend wisely. Pitching wins.
Yeah, you're not talking like Brett Wisely. You're talking about spending wisely, right?
I'm not talking about like being a New York Mets. I'm just saying there's an opportunity.
Exactly. Bingo. You just hit it with the Mets. How did that work out given those two guys?
Exactly.
They also gave guys that are 40 years old, come on.
Right. I just want right now to use
my battery's running low. I'm not plugged in here. Hold on a second.
Oh, go plug in. I just want to be able to take advantage of what the strength that the Giants have currently. And then, like I said, you got to be able to hit on these drafts. You have to. If you can't hit on these drafts and develop your guys, why is the ownership even in the game of baseball? Then sell the team to someone who knows what to do.
I want to get to this comment from D-Shot. I don't like this that type of trade, D-Shot, and I'll tell you why. Alonso's a free agent. I'm not giving up 2 of my top players for a guy unless he's committed to sign like Scherzer did when he was traded to the Rangers. They worked out a deal that he would sign and come back. There's no way I'm giving up Duvall and Harrison for a 1-year rental and have Alonso then walk. So that's I wouldn't do that.
You know who's getting ready to make a huge mistake? The Toronto Blue Jays. Supposedly they're in hard on getting Soto. And Soto's camp has already come out and said he's entering free agency next year. There's no guarantee he's going to extend.
Well, that lowers his value in a little ways. I mean,
it does, but
and you know what? If I'm Toronto though, and I've got the assets and I've got all their other tools that they have, I might take that shot just because they're going for a World Series title. But I'm not doing that if I'm the Giants because I'm not selling away my farm when I'm just starting to build it. Yep. I like this comment by D-Shot. He says, let me find it. Where did it go? Breaking. Giants are the worst team in the National League West. They will finish last. I got them right there with you. I think it's a toss-up between them and the Rockies.
Yeah.
With this current roster.
Yeah.
With this current roster.
To be determined.
And speaking of the worst guy in the National League. No, he's shaking his head. He's got his Giants hat on, though. We're going to bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, from Chico, the area, not Chico, from
Chico.
Is it Chico? Right up
Eastern
there,
Chico.
Butte County.
Aaron Rodgers. There he is. Hey, welcome, Aaron.
Hey, how's that Achilles doing, man?
Hey, how's the Achilles doing, Aaron?
I'm playing tomorrow.
You're a savage, Kyle.
You're going to get out there tomorrow?
I don't even know how that's possible. I guess the other surgeons are like saying, what? Like,
when is he going to play? Is he saying he's going to play soon?
Yeah.
A couple weeks, maybe?
I think that came out last week. I don't know. I mean, if he does that and blows it again, his career is probably done. I mean, I don't know. That's not my deal. So I mentioned this way earlier in the show, but I don't think you guys saw it. Los, you weren't here yet. I mean, I do like creative. Sometimes I have to do creative, like real estate contracts to kind of like work with a seller. What if the Giants told Otani's agent, like, look, we haven't had a 30 home run hitter in forever,
Since Bonds.
Right. And so be like, look, we'll give you $50 million a year, $48 million a year, something like that. And every ball after 30 home runs is $1 million a ball. Seriously. So he could make like what? He could make almost 60 million. Like if he hits like 45 jacks, that's 15 extra million, and that's the whole length of your contract and go 5 years with an opt-out. I like, Dan, what you said at 3. I don't know. It was just kind of stirring through my head.
If that's the case,
what do you think about that, Los?
If that's the case, bro, we're going to have a Japanese Kyle Schwarber that's going to be swinging out of his ass, hitting 205 with about 45 homers, but I got $1 million after every 30 homer.
Speaking of which, did you see that tweet? I said, hold on, I got to bring that tweet up.
I mean,
look at
it's a decent concept. You're trying to throw those addendums in there on the real estate side. I like it.
Yeah,
I like
exactly. Well, look at what Eric talked about. Like, how many strikeouts did he have?
But 143.
Yeah, it's a lot. But like, look at his numbers.
He was MVP, man. He had 44 bombs,
right?
304, 412 on base. I mean, the guy had an over 1,000 in OPS.
Ruth?
Otani?
Yeah.
Otani?
The modern day Ruth. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know. What does Miami see in Gabe?
Balancing the smoke.
I know what Gabe sees in Miami. That's a perfect spot, but I don't know. But you had a good point earlier. I think Farhan tends to only work with people that he's kind of friends with. So he could maybe do something with Miami. I don't know. Maybe. I don't even really know who's solid on Miami.
Not much. It's not great. They got some decent pitching. Luzardo, Alcantara's isn't he coming off Tommy John? He's going to be out most of next year.
He's going to be out the whole year. Yeah.
But
where'd they finish?
That's a good time to trade for him.
Where'd they
low
finish
value?
last year?
Yeah.
Low value. Maybe you give up hardly nothing for him. Stash him.
Hey, Los, check these numbers out. Ichiro Suzuki in 2007, 351 average, 122 OPS plus. Kyle Schwarber in 2023, 197 average with a 122 OPS plus.
Hey,
Isn't that
man.
weird?
Hey, like you're talking up like one of my absolute biggest pet peeves. I was looking at somebody today just out of the blue. Because, my big thing, and I was kind of saving this for when Ned Coletti came on or maybe Larry came on, but F it, I'm gonna throw it out here right now. Why are today's superstars in baseball, or who we all consider our superstars, if you look at the back of their baseball cards, they have up and down seasons. Like, right?
Right.
Bryce Harper is a perfect example. I just mentioned Otani hit 257 2 years ago. I mean, he hit a bunch of bombs, but he hit 257. Now, I was looking up a guy's stats, and I knew he was a great hitter. When he started, let's see, 1993. From 1993 to 2001, his lowest batting average was 318. Lowest batting average was 318. His lowest home run output was 32. Okay, it's too much to write right now. So we're talking about 8 consecutive years. The lowest batting average was 318. Lowest home run was 32. Can you name that player? 1993 to 2000. Take a guess who that is.
Bonds.
No.
Oh wait. He didn't hit 318 every year. Lowest home run.
Lowest batting average was 318.
93 to 2000.
And the lowest home run
Let
was.
me make sure.
Come on, that sounds. I bet he's off. He's off.
Were they? Was he a Giant?
303.
Was his lowest?
From 93 to 2000, his lowest batting average was 303.
It's just
and his lowest home run total was 32 in one. Damn. So he was hitting 30 plus bombs.
Lowest home run total was 24 because he was hurt that year.
Okay.
Well, it's not Bonds because Bonds left in 07.
Griffey?
So,
that sounds like Griffey.
Was it Griffey?
It wasn't Griffey.
Wow.
That's what I kind of thought was.
Did he bat from the right or left?
Right.
God.
I'll give you another hint. National League West.
Not this. It's not Pat Burrell. It's not.
No.
Will Clark.
He's
no,
right-handed.
Not right-handed. Come on,
Right-handed.
Kyle.
Left-handed. God.
You're out. Come on, Kyle. Will Clark. You bet's right-handed, and you said Will Clark. Throw that head off.
I thought I had a few drinks.
Come on, man. Come on. You're on the NorCal Sports Network. That's
Right.
worse than me put up a tweet saying that Shohei Otani signed with the Angels.
I didn't kick you out, man. It wasn't me, Kyle.
I might as well have said Mike Trout.
Hold on here.
Dude, I'm trying to think.
Piazza?
No.
Bingo.
Oh, but he was roiding though, wasn't he? Then again, who wasn't? True, right?
I cheated too. I looked in the chat.
Wasn't he?
Who got it in the chat? Oh, Haruku.
Heroku.
Okay. In 1997, here, listen to these stats. While you're a catcher and your body's getting beat up.
Yep.
1997, Mike Piazza hit 362, 40 homers, and 124 RBI.
He was
in Colorado though.
He was
Okay,
a roid.
It's still good. It's still good.
And
You know
he's in
what?
the Hall
You
of
know
Fame.
what? Roids or no roids, 362.
Yeah.
362. Guys,
That's
the
good,
point I'm
though.
trying to make is today's superstars, they don't have year after year after year after year dominance.
With
It's
that type of
always
production.
A year is good, and generally it's your contract year. And then there's a bad one, and then Anthony Rendon, I always bring him up. Mr. I can't miss a pitch for Washington, goes to the Angels, nothing. My point is hitting today, I don't know. Danny and me go way back. Hitting today is just there's something off. Like you can have a great year, and the next year you're just all right, and then the next year you're pretty good, and then the next year you're kind of bad.
Hey, I don't know what that.
I don't know what it is.
What was that tweet you put up, Eric? The
Codify?
Yeah. Put that up again? What was the numbers of what was that stat again? I don't even.
Ichiro was batting
351. Okay, OPS. I don't know exactly what OPS is.
OPS plus, what it does is it takes in consideration the ballpark that you play in. So that it's basically OPS with the ballpark taken in consideration.
All right, let me see if I can poke holes in this because it's not passing the smell test.
Wasn't he a Colorado Rocky and then went to the Mets?
Who?
No, he went to the Mets after the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Eric, can you pull up baseball? Can you pull up
baseball reference?
Yeah, Riccio and Schwarber. I want to see Riccio 07. I want to see his stats. I want to look at runs scored between these two guys because I think it's gonna be runs scored and I know there's all this war and all this stuff. I never had any of this stuff growing up. It was like RBIs, runs scored, strike the value.
While you're looking
OPS
at
plus is actually decent because you take it because each ballpark is going to play different, right?
Right.
While you're looking that up, can we agree that the superstars of 10 years, 20 years, 30 years ago, the superstars I'm talking about that they were consistent every single year. You knew what you were getting from Clemente to Mays to Will Clark to you name it, Barry Bonds. You knew what you were getting every year from a superstar. Now, not so much. And I keep seeing in the chat, and I keep seeing in other groups that I get in, well, it's today's pitching. Are we really going to say that pitching today is better now than it was 10 years ago?
Blow that up a little bit.
I think I can put a finger on it. It might not be totally correct, but it's the way they're paying these guys now. It's kind of like the NBA, like the 3-point shot, swing for the fences. You're going to hit some home runs. You're going to strike out, but your contracts are like, oh, that guy gets 39 jimmies.
Which one's
and his OPS is good. We'll pay him X amount of million, and then that trickles all the way down to the minors, and then fans and kids see that, on TV, like home runs. I think it's the way they're being paid. And
home runs are. I brought that up to Ned Coletti, and he agreed. He said today's hitters, especially in their contract year, home runs will get you paid. The guy from Miami right now that hits 340, 350, 360 every year, he's a machine. He's an on-base machine. He's a hitting machine, and nobody will offer him more than 12 million, 15 million a year because he hits singles and doubles.
Hold on there, Eric. What's he runs?
Batting average is not important nowadays, and
runs
I'm not
here.
a fan of that.
Okay, 111.
I'm not a fan of it at all.
111.
111. Now you want to see Schwarber?
Wait, 111, and I want to look at something else. I want to look at on base.
On base percentage, 396.
Okay. So he's 396, 111. And let me look at, okay, there's the OPS plus 122. Okay. Total bases, 292. I'm not going to worry about total base because I know Schwarber. Okay. Let's see. 111. What was the other number I was looking at?
On base was 396.
And then 292 total base. Go to Schwarber.
Yeah, but look at 2001 to 2008. 7 straight years of over 100 runs. So if we're going to compare him to Kyle Schwarber, I want to see Schwarber have 7 straight years of over 100 runs.
Well, this is why I'm looking at the value. I want to look at this OPS
thing. Out of here.
Plus 122. Okay, so what year were we looking at? 2023?
2023 right here. So you had 115 runs.
Wait a minute. No, Schwarber?
Right?
No, you're still on.
Sorry.
Still on.
No, this is Schwarber right here.
He didn't play in Seattle.
Philly.
I'm looking at.
Oh shit! Sorry. Hold on.
So without even seeing Schwarber stats, Kyle, I'll tell you this: like if Ichiro was playing today, okay, because I know obviously the economics were different than they are now, but if Ichiro was playing today, I don't know if he would get a bigger contract from anybody than Schwarber will, because like you said perfectly, that they value home runs. Suzuki has him on defense, has him on stolen bases, has him on batting averages, has him on base percentage, has him on triples, probably has him on doubles. Schwarber has him on one category.
Home runs.
108 runs.
He has him on one category, and we're going to give him more money. So that's the game of baseball today.
You got to think about everything kind of goes up to in time, so you can't really compare contracts. But you're totally right. I get.
I'm saying if Ichiro played today, I bet. I bet he wouldn't even get the contract because they don't value defense as much. They don't value batting average as much. Like across the board, he is better with everything except home runs, and maybe Schwarber might beat him on RBIs.
Okay, so what?
So what else are you looking at here, Dan?
I don't know. I can't think here. So go to 23. Highlight
and
that.
I can guarantee you this: Kyle Schwarber is probably not going to the Hall of Fame. So we're going to pay the non-Hall of Famer more money.
Okay, so we got 108 runs.
That's what I think.
On base was what, 343?
343.
And then what was the other stat we were lking at?
Over
Total
here,
bases.
total
It was 277.
277.
Okay. So, I mean, I get the analytics, how they're doing this. It's kind of like if you shoot 40% from 3 and you make 20 shots, you've got 60 points. It's the same as making 32 pointers, but that's what the geeks have brought into the game. The geeks have brought in all these analytics and saying, well, gosh, total bases here, we're really close. But you don't factor in, there's got to be a way that maybe.
Well, the only thing is OPS.
Let me finish my thought. Mauricio might not get a run in, but he might hit the ball into the playing field where it moves up another runner and somebody else knocks him in. You see what I'm saying? Where Schwarber strikes out.
Right.
And they don't, there's got to be
they don't factor that in.
There's got to be a factor for some of that stuff because
it's like a hero or zero stat.
So he hits a homer every maybe 12 or 15 at bats, but like in between.
It's an in between, like an RBI. And
6 times he came up. You know what? I would love if they want to do analytics. Here's this. Put a stat up on what your batting average is when a guy is at third base and less than 2 outs. Do you get him in? What's your batting average, and what is your percentage of getting that run in?
Oh, they have that.
They do that.
The geeks have all that. The geeks have everything.
I would love the geeks to bring that out because whoever gets that person in more is more valuable to me. Remember Dave Kingman back in the day, Dave?
Hey, I'm telling you, the geeks, man, they count your farts, man. I'm telling you. The guys farted 18 times in the dugout.
Back in the day, there was a guy named Dave Kingman that hit a lot of homers and had a very low batting average. He would strike out a homer, basically. In today's baseball, he would make 30 to 40 million a year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Back then, he was not valued very much. Guys that actually had other skills, defense, stolen bases, walks, good eye, all that part of the game is missing big time. It's not missing, but it's not valued as much as my point.
Let me go back to this Ichiro thing because I believe they have numbers, but they're not included in some of these stats. Let's say Mauricio comes up and there's nobody out, man on second, and Mauricio hits a ground ball to the right side, gets him over to third. He's out. He doesn't get a total base. He doesn't get a hit. He doesn't get an RBI. But Schwarber comes up and strikes out more than not. Runner from second never scores. Next guy comes up, hits a sac fly with Mauricio. The guy scores, and that's a run. That has nothing to do with the stat line of Mauricio. But anytime you hit the ball more often than you don't, good things are going to happen in a baseball game.
Put the ball in play.
Yeah, it's just finding a hole.
So that doesn't even mention how many runs did Ichiro save with his glove, with his speed to go get a ball in right center. How many guys did he throw out at third? The guy had a cannon of an arm. You could not run on him. Yeah. So that's how the scouts and that's how the game. That's winning baseball when you have more guys like that.
Right, so, exactly. That's why fundamentally sound teams that play good defense and have pitching and, look at the Giants' 3 World Series championships. It was built on pitching and defense and, some timely hitting, but they weren't boppers.
Nope.
And you got to have – and they had a full team of that. Their team was built that way. You can't have a bunch of guys striking out like the Giants did last year.
Now, the OPS, that's your on base and your slugging added together, right? OPS plus just takes in consideration the ballpark because someone's OPS plus is going to be different playing in Oracle Park compared to Rockies in Colorado.
They should have.
So that's what they take in consideration. They take that in consideration because the person in Colorado, of course, is going to have a higher OPS than someone who plays in San Francisco. So they take that in consideration to try to even it out as much as possible. So it's only telling you one part of the game. It's not telling you everything.
Well, I'll tell you this. In the WBC, I know Japan had Otani, who was a power hitter, and they had another guy or two that were kind of power hitters. But Japan's team
They got guys on base.
basically consisted of very good pitching, the best fundamentals of any country in the world. They will not make errors. They will not beat themselves. They will hit the cutoff man. They will get guys over. That may seem boring to you, and it's not as exciting as hitting the ball over the fence. But again, this is the difference between guys that have played the game of baseball and understand it, and the casual fan that just likes to go eat their popcorn and watch balls go over the fence.
There's
a reason Japan is always up there, and I think has won it more than any other country because of the way they play.
Wow.
Yeah,
Here,
it's like a hockey
though.
assist. Exactly, Mark Graves. That's the thing you gotta factor in these. I don't like all these stats that just, I get that they make a difference in some of them, but the fact that I pointed that out, I don't think that goes into any kind of positive stat. My example of moving a guy over because you put the bat on the ball. It's not a sacrifice. It's just an out, fielder's choice. It's an out, goes against your batting average, but it helped the team win. Because you looked at the numbers between runs scored between Schwarber and Riccio, and they weren't that far off.
Yeah, they were close.
And the on-base percentage wasn't that far off because of the walks. But Riccio can steal you a base. He can move runners over.
Absolutely, yeah.
He does a lot more than just what Schwarber does.
Well, here's the problem.
Statistically, you made this point. They had the same OPS plus.
Yep, exactly.
And to me, I'm taking the Riccio person.
Well, that's the thing is you got to take everything in totality. You just can't, dissect by that one little thing. You got to look at the whole player, like you said.
But a lot of people don't, and they get paid. They negotiate. They get paid based on all these stupid geek stats too.
Well,
the home run.
It's funny, guys. It's a different sport, but in football right now, the argument is that running backs are not as valuable as wide receivers,
right?
And they get paid less, just like the batting average guys get paid less, more than the home run hitters. But if you think about it, like who takes pressure off of a young quarterback? Is it the wide receivers, or is it something called a running game, which is
the
running backs?
It's so counterintuitive.
Who's arguably the MVP, and if he's taken off of the Niners, they're not going to do anything.
No,
McCaffrey.
What do we got? Some food on here?
This
chicken
is
soup. Chicken soup? What is this?
Yeah, you like that stupid ass ad? This is the run scored.
Can you X that out in the corner?
I already tried. Here,
we could have gotten Schwarber when he was a free agent, and Farhan blew it. But whatever. Hey, do we know?
These are total real quick. These are total runs. 2023, 22,000. Let's start going back.
You got to also remember Schwarber plays in an absolute bandbox. Stadium.
Let's go back to
his stats.
Those are runs scored for the league.
Runs scored for the league. On this column right here, it's AL and NL. As you can see, well, look what happened in the 90s. This is when we started getting into roids.
Roids, yeah.
Right here. So you started seeing a lot more runs scored, but it's held ever since. That's the long ball. That's what this game has turned into.
The 3-run home run.
Wait a minute. Go back. Is that combined or is that one league?
This is combined. This is the NL. This is the AL, and this is combined.
Okay, let me look at the AL and NL years. The AL should have had a lot more with the DH before the NL introduced it.
Yeah, see? Here's the AL. They got 10 compared to 8, 9 compared to 7,
okay.
10 compared to 8, yeah.
All right, but go back in 1980.
Yeah, right here.
Is that 19,000, 18,000? Can't quite make that out.
Yeah, 18,000 total runs.
Okay, so and in 1973, it was 16. 60. Okay, so 16, 17, 18, 19 in that range. And then you get into the 90s and it goes into you start getting into
93, boom, 20,000.
Wasn't 2018 the year that
94 was a little bit less because of the strike?
Okay, when did they add the last expansion teams was what? Colorado and
Arizona, right?
Arizona, which was like 1993.
Right? Was it 90? No, it wasn't 93 because I was at Luke and they were building the ballpark at the time.
I thought Colorado's first year was 93 when the Giants.
Okay, so I think Arizona came in and wasn't it like a 98?
Something like that. Yeah, they won a World Series like 5 years later.
Yeah.
Or less than 5 years. So you would think the numbers would go up because there's 2 more teams.
Right.
That's going to account for I don't know how many runs does a team score a year.
Oh, you could go into Baseball Reference and see that one.
Wasn't 2018 the year that like the record was broken for the most home runs combined by? Remember the ball was small. Was that 2017? 18?
2019. It was this year. 23,000 right here. That was the juiced ball.
Let me give everybody a real quick history lesson that you'll find interesting. 1982 World Series, St. Louis Cardinals versus the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yep.
Milwaukee had a team known as Harvey's Wallbangers. Right. They had Paul Molitor, Robin Yount, Cecil Cooper, and Ben Ogilvy. Ooh, off the top of my head, did not look that up. They had a murderer rows of home run hitter. Gorman Thomas was on that team. They were the ultimate power hitting team. St. Louis was speed, defense, and pitching. They played a very epic World Series.
7 games. St. Louis won it.
And it was I don't think I've ever seen a World Series with 2 teams that had such contrasting styles. It was speed and defense. I think George Hendrick led the Cardinals with home runs that year with 16. The Brewers had, I think, 4 guys in their lineup that hit 30 homers or more. Moral of the story is the power hitting, dominant power did not sweep the meek hitting St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals won that World Series 4-3.
Yep.
So I'm just saying that I get it. Power's great. It's great for the fans. It's entertaining, but it doesn't necessarily equal
True.
Winning. You need to have balance. You need to have some power. You need to have some batting average. You need guys on base. Otherwise, you're going to be hitting a bunch of solo shots.
Exactly. Yeah.
You need guys that get on base.
Hey, real quick, we are 30 away from 1,000 subscribers.
Right. So we got 71 in the chat. We just need all 70 of you to just create an account.
Hey,
create another account. Get your significant other. Get your kids. Get somebody.
Make it a Christmas gift. It's free.
Grab their phone.
It doesn't cost you nothing, and you get some great entertainment.
My 1-year-old doesn't have a phone. What do I do?
Get him a phone.
Come
on, everybody, just subscribe to NorCal Sports Network. We got Los and I were at the Cardinals. The Diamondbacks Giants game. We walked out of the stadium. We were talking to people. I think I got 3 or 4 subs from just guys were just walking. I'd grab, hey, come on, sign up, NorCal Sports Network, and they signed up. That's all you got to do, man.
I got 2 women sitting in front of us.
Yeah, that's right. We just get people to sign up. I've gotten
about 10 guys just at Walmart.
Yeah, got family in the Philippines that are.
Kyle, we need you. We need you to be a better recruiter, Kyle. Come on, man.
Come on, everybody.
I thought I got, unless they lied to me, but both my 2 younger brothers.
All right, rock on.
Real quick, I don't want to forget. You brought up Japan. Do we know if they're kind of following MLB's trend? Have they messed with the bases, and do they have clocks yet? Or are they kind of still traditional as far as?
I think they're still traditional.
I heard they want to speed up the clock.
A little bit more that way for sure.
I heard they want to speed up the clock now. They want to get rid of the 20-second with the guys on base. I heard they want to take it to
MLB wants it to 18. Yeah,
18. Yeah,
18 on base. Yeah.
Are there any leadoff hitters anymore? I'm trying to think of every team. Is there any guy that's like
the kid from Miami?
Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Carroll. Yeah.
He's not even their leadoff hitter, is he? He's starter.
No, I thought it was Corbin Carroll.
Right off the top of your head, name me a team that has a leadoff hitter that hits 280, 300, and steals over 40, 50 bases. I mean, Acuna.
Not steal. Oof.
Lamont Wade.
He's 70 stolen bases and power. God, that dude's a beast. But
yeah.
I mean, your traditional leadoff hitter, your Brett
Reyes from Miami. But he doesn't have the speed. He just gets on.
Yeah, he's a 360 hitter, but he doesn't have a lot of speed. I guess that part of the game is kind of gone too. It's just a table setter, the guy that takes pitches, gets on base.
because you want to wind down that pitcher to start.
Did Mookie Betts lead off?
Oh yeah, Mookie. Mookie did lead off.
Does he?
I think so.
Yeah, that sounds.
I love Mookie. That's a perfect example. That's a guy that has speed, hits for average, and hits for power. I love players like that.
Can't believe Boston got rid of him.
You know who our leadoff Giants? I grew up with Bobby Bonds being the leadoff hitter.
Did Bobby lead off?
Bobby led off. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Bobby was an incredible leadoff hitter.
Brett Butler, man, that guy was a hell of a
Brett Butler was a great leadoff hitter.
Oh, he'd get about 18 to 20 bunt hits a year.
Wasn't Deion when he was with the Giants the leadoff hitter? Deion Sanders?
I think so.
Deion Sanders, yeah.
Um,
Ricky Henderson is probably
Ricky's the best
hitter of all time.
No, not
that
even
guy
close.
was so crazy.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, he was sick. He was just a freak of nature. What did he steal one year? 130? Oh my God.
130.
Yeah.
130 in a year. That's like almost won a game.
It would be 200 these days.
All right, here's your top
over more than twice.
Here's your top 5 leadoff hitters of all time in my view. If I can remember them all. Okay, got it. Ricky number 1. Tim Raines was awesome.
That's a good one.
Hold on, not all time. You're going to go common era, right?
Common, yeah. I'm not going. I'm not going back to Tris Speaker or whoever somebody like that.
Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb. Yeah. Pete Rose was a great leadoff hitter.
Yes.
Aricio was a leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
So there's your top 5. I mean,
did Tony Gwynn lead off or no?
No.
Was Ty Cobb a leadoff hitter going way back?
He would have been great. He would. I don't think Cobb was a leadoff hitter.
No, I'm not sure.
Lifetime 360 batting average. That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
Lifetime.
It's like almost impossible.
God, that's just crazy.
Must have looked like a beach ball to him.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, they also didn't swing they went with the pitch. They didn't swing for the fences. Or
no, I'd love to see more of that. And and we've talked about this before. It kind of starts in single A and double A. What's your organization teaching? What are the hitting
even
coaches?
Little League.
The hitting coaches, like
I was a leadoff hitter in Little League.
Did your manager get mad if you didn't take a pitch or two?
Everything was given signs. He was.
Oh, Vince Coleman.
What was the indicator? What was the indicator for you, Danny? Mine was the belt.
The belt. This is probably. I think it was the belt, the ear. Sometimes it was the ear. Second time.
Second thing after the belt.
He was. He used to. I had speed, and so he taught us. We actually had bunting practice. The guy made us bring a belt.
You showed us on the show before. I remember that.
I had a belt, and I had my left arm tied to my waist, or not my waist, to my ribs, and we had to pivot, bend our knee and pivot. We never squared up.
Keep your motion all straight.
Yep, we never squared up unless we were doing a complete, total sacrifice bunt. But if we were bunting for a hit, I used to just pivot, and I was already, as soon as that ball was hitting my bat, I was ready to take off. I was in position to take off. So he'd say, "Okay, Cooch," call me Cooch for Coach Emilio. He'd say, "Lay one down and run like hell." That's what he'd say. Lay one down and run like hell. And so I always bunted it. I pushed it right past the pitcher towards second base. And the second baseman was not there because he was heading toward first. I had myself base hit. I got on quite a bit, but I didn't bunt all the time. But, if he wanted me to bunt, I bunt. But I was a getting on base guy. I wasn't a power hitter. I was a singles, doubles, and triples guy.
I love it.
I got a lot of triples. But
I'm gonna jump, guys.
All right, Kyle. Hey, thanks for joining.
What's the recovery time for your eye, Dan? How's it doing?
It's doing better. My vision's getting better, but I'm still a little bit blurry from the light because it's still a little dilated, the pupil.
Probably all those trades.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good one.
All right. I'll keep watching. See you.
All right. Thanks.
Later, man.
So, leadoff hitters, though, that I was kind of remembering. Remember the Mets in the World Series? Was it Mookie Wilson? Was it not Mookie Betts, but Mookie Wilson? Wasn't he he was a leadoff hitter for the Mets?
The old Pittsburgh Pirates had a guy named Omar Moreno.
Oh yeah,
loved him. And
Vince Coleman.
I'll give you another one, Dan, and this one's really out of left field, but I was just made aware of him about a year ago. And in fact, my friend bought me his book. And
Vince Coleman, yeah.
Yeah, Vince.
He played in the Negro Leagues only, and his name was Cool
Papa Bell.
They say he was by far the fastest baseball player to ever put on cleats.
Yep. Billy North. I was just coming up with Billy North, and I say Haruko I like Billy North during the. Yeah, Billy North with the A's. I loved him. I love Billy North.
Became a giant.
Yeah, he became a giant. Billy North was good.
Look up the story that is Cool Papa Bell, and what a great name. What a great nickname.
I got a book on Satchel Paige, and they talk about him in there.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Juan Pierre? He was a pretty good leadoff guy.
Yep.
Marlins.
Yeah. Soriano.
Alfonso.
Wasn't he with the Yankees a leadoff guy or second?
He was power and speed.
He was a power guy, right?
Oh, you know who else?
Played for Chicago.
Playing the Dodgers. Davey Lopes was a good leadoff.
Davey Lopes.
Gosh, and then he'd steal second. Gosh.
Yeah, he had that bat way up here, Dan.
Yep.
Yep. Brett Butler, we mentioned him.
Hey, that would be a good show one time, is to talk about goofy batting stances.
Goofy batting stances.
Yeah,
Ed Cranepole. Remember Ed Cranepole? Mets?
No, I don't remember him. Lenny Dykstra, that's a good one.
I think Ed Cranepole was like this too.
Milt May used to hit like that.
Milt May, yeah. Trying to think of some other.
Brian Downey.
Oh, Wade Boggs was a leadoff hitter.
Wade Boggs. Oh man, can't forget Wade Boggs. He was a leadoff
Boggs.
hitter.
Charlie Blackmon used to lead off, didn't he? Back in the day with the Rockies, but when they were
Rockies, yeah, he did.
Back when he was like really good.
Hey, I saw a good debate today. It was about 50-50. Better third baseman, Mike Schmidt or George Brett?
All around player or third baseman?
All around. Everything.
I'm going with Schmidt.
I'm going George Brett.
See? Split 50-50.
I gotta go George Brett. Let's bring up the numbers.
Yeah, while you do that.
Somebody's got an itchy trigger finger tonight.
Don't you ever disagree with me. Don't you dare have your own opinion.
Hey, on that note, I'll say Mike Schmidt.
There you go. It's close. Those are two great players.
It was a good debate. I was entertained by it. I like debates like that. You can't.
Schmidt was the better third baseman, I think.
Better glove. He won more Gold Gloves.
Yeah.
Had more power. Brett had the batting average. George Brett was damn close.
Oh, who was another leadoff hitter was pretty good was Knobloch. Chuck Knobloch, Twins, and
Yankees.
And Molitor. You mentioned the Brewers in 82. Paul Molitor was pretty good. Chuck Knobloch, didn't he hit the home run to win the World Series against the Braves? That 1-0 game? Was it Knobloch? Or no, that was who hit that home run? Who hit that home run in that 1-0 game to win the World Series? Game
Knobloch,
7.
Wasn't it?
Was it Knobloch?
I thought it was Knobloch.
Twins and Braves?
Yeah.
No, there was no home run. I remember somebody drove Danny Gladden home from third base.
Or maybe it was Gladden got driven in. Hey, Kenny Lofton with the Giants.
Kenny Lofton, yeah.
Kirby Puckett.
Okay, Puckett. I think Puckett did hit a home run.
I thought
He
Puckett
hit
hit
a,
a home run.
no, Puckett hit a home run to win Game 6 to send it to 7. It was extra.
Maybe that's
Oh,
what.
okay.
Okay, so those are Mike Schmidt stats: 267, 548 RBIs, 1,500 runs. 15.
Well, Brett's going to be closer to 300 or over 300.
Yeah, but I want to see what Brett's runs and RBIs are. Those are solid.
Our
stats.
geek squad is behind. We need Farhan. Oh, look at that. 305 runs.
Okay, he's right there with him with runs and RBIs, even though he didn't hit a lot of homers, and he has a 305 batting average and 3,100 hits. Woo!
George Brett's got one extra RBI than Schmidt.
I thought
And with less homers. Okay,
And less homers.
right there, guys. What does that tell you? He hit 230 less homers than Mike Schmidt, and they're equal in RBIs. What does your baseball mind tell you?
How about OPS? So pull it down.
That tells me that he's getting
Schmidt's got to have
flies, and he's getting base hits to drive home.
Schmidt's OPS has got to be way above
857, and then taking in the ballpark 135 OPS plus. That's for Brett.
857, 135.
Okay, remember that one.
857, 135.
Hey, anybody that goes upper tank on Goose Gossage is all right by me.
And he's got a higher OPS. Yep, he's got more power. Yep.
Yep. All right, so I was right. All right, thanks. Okay, everybody.
Hey, Mike Schmidt had more stolen bases than
Thank you, Eric. Thanks for joining the NorCal Sports Network. Thanks for doing the thumbnails. Thanks for all your help. Thanks for everything. But no, Eric's
that was
Eric,
good.
Eric helps this channel grow, man.
I try.
Eric is helping this channel grow, so
He kicked himself out. He goes, "I'm out." That was pretty good.
yeah. So anyway, man. So back to our original thought to kind of wrap up. Here comes Farhan. He's getting ready.
I'm not taking the beanie off, but over the top.
Hi everybody, Farhan Zaidi
God,
here,
that's super funny.
live from the winter meetings in Nashville, and I'm going to be meeting with some agents, and I'm looking at getting some backup utility players and some backup for the backups, and and we're going to be getting a few more outfielders. I need another 34, 35 plus year old outfielders with some hamstring issues. Guys that can pinch hit. And I'm looking for some backup platoon players that can platoon with my platooners. And we're going to build us a ball club.
Darren Lee wants to know why we're so harsh on Farhan. You have a few hours?
Who wants to know?
Darren Lee.
Oh, Darren Lee. Well,
you want to give the short version of why we're so harsh on him?
The short version is in 5 years, he hasn't done a lot. He's overpromised, underdelivered. The team was the minor leagues system's a little better, not a whole lot better. He hasn't ever really done anything on his own. When he's with the Dodgers, he had to have did my battery get unplugged again? Dang it. Hold on.
Yeah, I believe Darren Lee is new to the channel. Welcome, Darren.
Yeah,
Welcome, Darren.
Welcome,
Yeah,
Darren.
I look at what Farhan's done. You know, the Dodgers continue to sail without him.
Because it's Andrew Friedman, not Farhan.
Yeah, it's Andrew Friedman. I think Farhan is a good baseball assistant background guy that can find talent, under the radar talent. I think he has use in the game. I just don't think he's best as the guy to sell and get new, go out and close the deals. He's had a couple of good deals. I give him credit for, signing Tyro Estrada and even trading for Mauricio Dubon and getting Gosman and Rodon. Where I've had problems with him is he's a little bit gun shy to pull the trigger. For example, I think he should have traded Rodon at the trade deadline and get, a top prospect for him. He didn't do that. He thought they were in the race. I think he should have re-signed Gosman. He miscalculated. He thought it was too much money. Now you got guys that aren't even close to Gosman in terms of productivity, making more per year than a Gosman. Guys are signing big contracts right now. I think he last year did nothing to improve the team, even though they were first at the trade deadline as the wild card. You either make a move to improve your team, a few moves. I mean, look at what the Diamondbacks did. They went out and made a few moves. They weren't major moves, but they got the closer from Seattle. What's his name? Paul
Seawald.
They got Tommy Pham.
Yep.
They got the infielder that used to be with the Brewers, Chase, or what was his name? Chase, or whatever his name was. Can't think of his name all of a sudden. But they got him, and they got somebody else. They got 3 or 4 guys. They ended up going to the World Series.
Yep.
Because these guys helped them out. The Giants have always made moves to help them improve. You go back.
I mentioned this yesterday, Dan, and I'm going to get to what Darren's saying here. And Los, you weren't here. And you see if you can answer this question. He says, I think Farhan is doing better than Bobby Evans did as a GM. Okay. Look at the roster the Giants had in 2018, which was the last year of Bobby Evans. And look at the last year that Farhan has been in charge of 2023. Which roster is better? The 2018 roster or the 2023 roster? And mind you, this is 5 years after hiring Farhan.
I don't remember the entire 18 roster.
Was better than
2018.
You had Buster.
I think you had McCutcheon.
You had Zell.
Bell, Crawford.
Legitimate players on the team.
You had legitimate players. Yeah. Did it pan out? No. But look what we had in 2023. That's what I'm saying. Farhan hasn't done nothing in 5 years. I'm sorry. 2021 is an aberration. Everyone says it. It was an aberration. You could chalk that up to, everyone key players having career years. That wasn't because of Farhan.
I do think there was I think Kapler was such an enigma around the team. You look at the 21 team. You had Buster Posey, all right? You had Ron Wotus on the bench, on coaching third base. You had a semblance of normalcy there that kept Gabe in check. When Wotus was no longer there and Buster was no longer there, it was a rudderless ship, man.
Yes.
It was like nobody. It was just weird vibes, and you saw it. There was just there's a tension around Gabe. I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot better this year with Bob Melvin. People are going to be much more relaxed in the sense of they're not going to. Yeah, I mean it's going to But if we see the platooning crap, that's Farhan. Because we know that Melvin didn't do that like to that extent. Everybody platoons a couple of guys,
not the whole damn lineup,
but not the whole lineup. I mean, come on. If that starts happening, I'm just like, gosh.
Wait, I think if I'm not mistaken, here we go. We have our very own Farhan.
The ability to get them to come.
It's so obvious to the second one. I mean, it's just, you don't have the ability to get them because one, you're a horrible GM.
Watch Dan's reaction.
The manager and coaching staff fit to help or the team.
It's disgusting, and
Farhan would say, "Are you sure that I said that, Dan?
Are
you sure you're not paraphrasing that, Dan?"
That's a good one, Lowe's. Put those glasses on. Here, put these on right here. You're bored.
Dan, are you sure?
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that was good memories, man. That was hilarious.
God, that was great.
That was an all-timer.
That was an all-timer.
So out of character at the time.
That
was what had us rolling. That was
That's what threw everybody off. I was like, oh my god.
Oh man,
literally, man, that was a big 12-6 curveball, man.
Oh, I know.
Did you see Trouble with the Curve yet?
I haven't, but guys,
I think it was on MLB Network either tonight or tomorrow.
All right. I imagine I was late. I'm late to this, and I watched something. My wife and I watched it last night. Apple TV special. If you haven't seen it, you got to go watch it. Steph Curry underrated. Have you seen it, Lowe's?
Have not seen it on
okay.
Apple TV is a little challenging for me right now.
Unbelievable. What's up, Matt?
Unbelievable. Everybody out in the chat, go watch Stephen Curry underrated. It goes back to his days with Davidson, well, even pre-Davidson as a kid. Every time they showed him playing at Davidson and making, they showed his parents in the stands, my wife and I would crack up because Seth Curry was there, and he just looked like this little kid because Steph was like a freshman or sophomore in college. So Seth's in high school, and it just looks hilarious. But
Apple TV is the only place you can see it. It's not on YouTube.
I don't know if it's on YouTube.
You ain't gonna be able. Yeah, if it's on Apple TV, you can't see it anywhere else.
I watched it on Apple, and man, it was really, really good. Really enjoyed it. So I would highly recommend it.
The last time I paid for a premium channel just to watch one show was Paramount because I was so into Tulsa King with Stallone. But no, I do want to watch it. I've heard so many good things about it.
Senior says, how many teams make your playoffs? Referring
6.
to our fans. 6. That is correct.
Should I bring up the standings?
Yeah, focus. Yeah, bring up the standings. And circle. Can you do a circle on there?
Let's see if you know what I can do? Let me print screen it. Just give me a minute. Just keep going.
Circle.
Dan better not let me beat him with 9 guys.
8?
8 might be 8.
You play 8 in a defense. So you're playing 7 in a defense?
Yeah, something like that. I don't even know if Noah Brown is playing. So.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just loading up for the playoffs. I'm resting players for the playoffs.
There you go.
Nobody's clinched. Yeah, there's guys that have clinched.
Yeah, that's true.
Hiroku's clinched.
You got to get there. That's
you
true.
guys, you and Will B have clinched. Nobody's. 8 wins. You're in. I'm sorry, you're in.
Yeah, I just need to get through these buys and get to the playoffs, and may the best team win.
Yeah, it's. I picked up a sneaky guy this week. Somebody might be looking, why did you pick him up? I picked up Nick Mullins.
Quarterback?
Yeah.
Is he starting?
Not yet, but I think he's going to next week.
Oh, are you going to need him?
I don't have Kyler Murray in for week 14. I can go flex. I can super flex guys, but
who am I circling here, Dan?
I think my points. Where's the points?
Oh, you want me to put the points in?
Yeah. Well, I got to have something to gloat about.
Stand by.
Darren Lee says, are you guys excited for what the Giants can do this offseason? I think, Darren, we're in we're in a wait and hold pattern because we've just heard so many promises in the last years with Farhan about he's going to do this. We're all in on that. Well, other teams are all in on guys too. Their all in just seems to be better than the Giants all in every single
That was
time.
a good move, Will. Jackson Smith, the Jigba.
Cool.
I like him. I had him. The frustrating thing is you can only keep so many guys, you know? It's like, dang. It's like my backup receivers, I'm happy with them. I've got Jalen Reed and Brandon Cooks has like been scoring 14, 15 points plus a game the last few weeks. I don't have room for him, but hopefully I won't need him.
So you want
the guy that's disappointing for me, and he's healthy, is Cooper Kupp. He has just not been part of the offense the last few, and he's healthy.
What is the right column? Is that points you've given up?
Given up.
Wow.
So you want me to circle your points?
I have the most points in the league.
And that's an indication.
There you go.
What is that an indication of?
That you're consistently, your players are scoring. That's the whole idea of fantasy football. And the only reason your schedule or your record is what it is, you've given up a little, 15-38.
He's already clinched. Yep.
He's clinched, yeah. I think Matt Gates and Ulos have clinched, the bad guy. I think.
So these are the guys right here.
It's going to be interesting because tomorrow Yaz is playing. Is he playing Go Buck Yourself? Is he playing Will?
You got Yaz in it.
Bora
could be in it.
Bora, that would be tomorrow's matchups. Yes. Oh, he's playing Trock. That's a big one.
We're dead.
Yeah, everybody with 4 wins is dead.
Yep.
Boro, if he comes back and somehow sneaks in, that will be.
He's gonna have who's he playing? I can't remember.
He's got a tough game. He's playing low. No, he's playing Will Martinez.
That's right. Yeah.
It looks like a tight one. Dan's the Cowboys of fantasy football, scoring high against bad teams. How is it against I score against bad teams? I'm not. It doesn't have any bearing on who you're playing, right? It has no bearing.
Oh, Noah Brown is expected to play. Good. And Tank Bell is hurt, so he should get some catches.
Jeez, I hope I don't.
Don't lose to me on the power play like
I
Eric.
know. If you beat me shorthanded, if I lose on a power play, oh boy.
Darren's asking, what would they need to do for you to say that's acceptable for on?
Oh, good question, Darren. Here's what they need to do.
This year, they need to go big. They have to.
Yeah, I mean, Darren, they cannot come back. He was joking. He said they cannot come back and bring back. Say, we improved our defense by getting Kevin Kiermaier to play center and everyday center field, Matt Chapman at third base, and adding a starting pitcher like Jack Flaherty. Although those are all decent moves, they're not going to move the needle beyond third place. Okay? They're not. I think that's still probably closer to a fourth place team. What I would say they need to do to be acceptable is they've got to sign 2 significant players, whether that's Yamamoto and Bellinger, Yamamoto and Otani and Bellinger, combination of, and then I'll throw one other pitcher in. I'll throw in either Stroman, Montgomery, or Rodriguez, or Snell. Those 4. They've got to land 2 of all of those players, not named Chapman or Kiermaier. I want two, at least two, and I'm going to name I named the pitchers. I named the starting pitchers. Yamamoto, Snell, Montgomery, Stroman, Rodriguez. Okay, that's 5 pitchers. They got to get a combination of any two with Otani and Bellinger in there. So one of the pitchers, one of the position players, or 2 pitchers, or 2 position players. They got to get two difference makers in this lineup.
The other thing, Darren, that this channel has repeatedly said and repeatedly been disappointed on is Farhan consistently likes to keep mediocre players who we feel are mediocre players on the team. And these mediocre players, the Yazes, the Slaters, the DeScalfinis, the Woods, they prohibit some young talent that we just don't know if they could be real good or real not, because they're not given a chance. So if you're blocking somebody that maybe have young talent with a really good player, so be it. When you're blocking those players with average to below average players, that's not cool. And that's one big thing this channel has been all over Farhan about. So it's not just signing good players, it's keeping the bad ones as well.
Yep. 100%.
Mediocre is mediocre. You know, this is not a popularity contest.
And here's the point. Here's another good point. You know, the rebuild, the quote unquote rebuild, is done. How many of the young guys started last year? Quite a bit. Bailey, Schmidt, Luciano, Matos, right, Harrison. So you cannot go through another rebuild when the rebuild's already here. So you got to supplement those guys. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper than with Dan as far as the amount of. I think they need 2 position players and at least 1 starting pitcher. You know, ultimately 2. So that's 4 players that you need to get. Honestly, if you want to compete in the NL West right now, that's what you have to do. Unless you want to do another quote unquote rebuild, which would be another 5 years, right? I mean, do you want to go through another 5 years of a
they have
rebuild?
They have to be very, very smart. They cannot get guys that are going, you know, let's just look at it this way. The majority of these long-term big contracts,
they don't pan out.
They don't pan out.
The first few years they do, but afterwards, yeah.
I mean, Harper's panning out for Philadelphia. Trey Turner did well last year. But the Angels historically have not done well. They got Otani, but they've had some bad contracts with Rendon, Albert Pujols. They've strapped themselves financially. You've got to hit when you. I mean, last year they didn't hit, and Haniger and Conforto and Stripling and Manaea all had opt-outs. 2 of them opted out, Manaea and wait, is it just one that opted out?
I think he's the only one.
Yeah, the only one that opted out was Manaea. That's it. Yeah, everyone else opted in.
But yeah, so you got a problem now because you got a guy Conforto coming off a bad year, and you got $18 million on the books. And are you going to be? Fortunately, it's only 1 more year, but you got to. If you rely on free agency, eventually it's going to bite you in the ass. And you're going to, like last year. I mean, it was a flop.
Do you guys remember when a long-term deal for anybody, pitcher or hitter, it was 5 or 6 years?
Yeah.
Who was the first guy?
I think it might be Rodriguez. A-Rod.
10 years.
I think A-Rod.
It was A-Rod.
It had to have been around there, somewhere around there.
You're right. Yeah, he was the first one to kind of break the mold and like give a
10 years, $250 million, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a superstar player, and he was relatively young at the time that it happened. But what did he get? Like 10 years, $250 million at the time?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that was considered like, whoa, that's really
That was like crazy. Now we're about to see $500 million.
so them doing that.
Oh yeah, I mean,
what started this 8, 10, now it's 12. I mean, when is it gonna be 15 years? When is the guy gonna get a 15-year?
You watch. I think the Otani contract, even though he's not going to be pitching, just because I think the bidding gets close. I think it ends up closer to 600.
I think so too. And you know what? I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if it's announced that the Dodgers sign Yamamoto, Otani, and trade for Trout. I would not be surprised. Would not be surprised, because that's what the Dodgers do.
I can't see what's his name, the owner of the Angels, trading him to the Dodgers after they took
after losing
Otani.
Yeah, maybe
he'd be like, gosh, I just like not only lost my stars, I gave him to my
Artie Moreno does not like the Dodgers.
Yeah, I just gave him to my rival. They're gonna just bury me. You know.
If Otani goes to the Dodgers and Yamamoto comes to the Giants, I can't wait to see that matchup.
That will be an awesome matchup.
Oh man, go Yamamoto! I am a big Yamamoto fan.
I just don't know if the Giants. You
think Farhan will spend $300 million to get Yamamoto because that's what it may take?
I think if he loses out on Otani, I think they go huge on.
They've been on Yamamoto, I think, more than any major league team.
Yeah, but Yamamoto wants to win too.
Yes, and you. Right now, the Giants are not. They're not.
I mean, I'm telling you, the best thing the Giants can do, if you really, really want to stir up the fan base, you really want places hopping. The Warriors are down right now a little bit. You really want to jump up high and get San Francisco excited, go spend $800,000 or $800 million, almost $1 billion on Yamamoto and Otani. And you do that, and then you spend some more money and you go get another position player.
And trade for another.
You got. I mean, San Francisco's a baseball.
And you know what? If they sign Yamamoto, I would be willing to trade Wisenhunt or Harrison.
Oh yeah, if you got that Webb,
because then you get a huge haul back.
Yeah, you can get a good position player.
I'll tell you a starting pitcher that has kind of like gone through the cracks that I've been on Stroman, I've been on Rodriguez, I don't want Snell. I just have a feeling Snell's going to be, like I've said earlier, one of those guys that contract year, great year, next year he's going to be like up and down. Good pitcher, not great. I'll tell you a reasonable option is a guy from the Brewers, Wade Miley. Was looking at him, and he's quietly had like a 3.1, 3.2 ERA over the last 3 years. He's about 12 games over 500. I mean, Milwaukee's a hitter's ballpark. That guy keeps the ball on the ground. He would be a good, solid, fourth guy in the rotation. Probably wouldn't cost you any more than like $10, $15 million a year. So keep an eye on Wade Miley. He might be a total Giants guy.
Cliff Martinez has a good question. Could I see the Giants trading Duvall to add a bat once they swing and miss again?
Yes,
I could.
I've been calling for that.
I think they love Duvall, but they're also. I think Duvall's got to grow in some areas. I think he gets. I don't know his mentality as a.
His pitch selection is a little bit funky sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I don't get it. He just goes away
constantly, like slider.
Yeah, and then sometimes he'll go fastball. No slide. It's just
exactly. It's weird.
He's just stuck on one pitch. Mm-hmm. It's almost like he doesn't have confidence in both pitches at the same time. And when he does, he's lights out. You can't hit him because you don't know what he's coming with. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. We're going to know some things here within the next 4 or 5 days, I think.
Yeah.
If Yamamoto wants to play with another Japanese player, and Otani is already out of the question because he signed somewhere else.
You got to be careful with that report because that report was kind of misconstrued.
Okay. How about the Giants trade for Yoshida of Boston?
No, he just signed with the Boston.
I wanted him, and he's reasonable. God, man,
Was that the pitcher from the A's?
No. That was the hitter.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yoshida, yeah. I don't know. I'm hearing that Yamamoto may not be even visiting teams until after the winter meetings. And that means that Otani may be off the books. I think Otani signs
Monday, I think.
Yeah.
Because the decision's going to be made this weekend because all the meetings are happening this weekend. Right now, as we speak, the meetings are happening.
Went back to the Angels of all places? What would that?
Oh, that would be weird, huh?
That would be kind of weird.
Well, Eric can break that news, except it'll just say 2023 this time.
Oh, that was so bad, dude. I got fooled so bad, dude.
That was almost like a one-show suspension for that.
Oh, I know.
The Dan's got the call on that one.
Suspended, man. Just suspended. I forgot about that. Thanks. I forgot to institute the punishment.
Breaking news, Eric Romo suspended for 1 game for misinformation on the news. Breaking news.
Breaking news. He had me first. Like, oh, no, he's going back. Yeah. I looked at it, I go, that's 2017.
Wait, Dan, didn't you? I think you. Yeah.
What are you coming up?
I think you saw Yamamoto, and he was with the Giants last year.
All right, let's get fired up here. Let's go. Who wants to be up?
There it is. He wants to be a Giant. You got it. You were on it, Dan. You're muted, Dan.
All right, we're out here in the future for the Larry Kruger Show.
Larry Kruger.
Yeah, we're going to be on YouTube right now tonight. All right. Okay. When I say Larry, you say Kruger. Larry. Kruger. Larry. Kruger. Larry. Kruger. All right, let's hear it one more time. Oh, come on. All right, Larry.
See?
Why was that chant not Dan? Coach Emilio, Dan, Coach Emilio.
Well, I was just a sidekick at the moment,
Yeah.
at the time. I was I didn't have my channel.
That was the 22 season.
That was the 22 season, yeah.
Oh, Larry would have been like, what are you doing, man? You intern, you're fucking bragging about yourself.
Yeah, Roku Sasaki.
I loved it.
Sasaki's supposed to be another badass coming up in a few years. Yeah.
Kruger's definitely easier to say than De La Fuente and Coach Emilio. So,
Yeah.
Eric, you might be the man. It's easy.
Yeah, Romo.
Romo. When I say Romo, you say Sergio. When I say Romo, you say Sergio.
When I say Romo, you say no mo.
Oh, man.
And we're going to get Yamamoto.
There we go. Hey,
get a rhyme. Get a rhyme going.
There we go. Yeah, we should. That could be our sales pitch. Hey, there we go.
Hey, that's a great one. Eric Romo, we're getting Yamamoto. I'll pass on Soto. I got a little hip hop in me, man. So
there we go.
I can rhyme.
Man.
I can rhyme.
There we go. Man.
Pass on Soto.
There we go. Exactly.
You need good mojo.
That was good.
Yeah. So we got
all right.
Farhan is a hoto.
Oh man.
I can keep going. I can get a lot of them.
All right, here we go.
All right, when I say Romo,
mm-hmm.
When I say Romo,
yep,
you say Sergio.
There we go.
Sergio Romo. Listen in on Dan on the NorCal Sports Network.
There we go.
There we go.
And I want to grow my beard like that.
There we go.
Especially now that it's winter, and it takes me years to grow it down that far.
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, well, I think we've hit it, man. We did it. Let's get those subs up, please. We need about another 29 subs to go to get to our 1,000 mark. Everybody, just go grab your kids' phones
and tell you what. Take advice. Take some advice from the Mad Dog.
and good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? Christopher Russo here to tell you when I'm in town and I want to listen, I listen to him, Dan, and I listen to Larry Kruger. Krug and Dan, my ear set. You got it right here. You heard it from the Mad Dog.
There we go.
All right, baby.
Endorsed.
Come
There you
on,
go.
man. This show's growing.
Yes, it is.
I wish the winter meetings. Hey, I'll tell you, if I didn't have this sudden eye situation where I had to have eye surgery and I'm still, a little blurry and everything, it's going to take a few months to probably get I'll have to. He says I'll develop a cataract and I'm going to have cataract surgery. Then I'll see pretty clearly. If all that wasn't going on this last month and a half, I would have got me a ticket. I would have got my credentials renewed, and I would have
went to Nashville.
And I would have went to Nashville. Yeah, you no doubt about it. But
here we got a bomb. We got a bomb from good old senior softball game son.
Here we go.
Nice shot, Charlie.
There we go.
That's down the left field line. That's going to be 2 bases. Then comes one run. Here comes another run. He scores. Here comes a 3rd run. He says get down, but he's down and in, and he clears the bases with a triple.
Yeah. There we go. All right. There we go.
Yeah.
We got it all on NorCal Sports Network.
Yeah,
we got it all.
Because after he hits a home run, he's going to say, watch. He's going to have Charlie say, watch the NorCal Sports Network.
Oh,
there we go.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I had floaters, Mark. I had floaters. If you got floaters, get it checked out, man, because you could have some retina issues.
Hey, who's Hum Baby Show? Whose podcast is that Matt's talking about?
Oh, Baby, that's Eric.
That's good. Eric. Yeah, he does a good job over there.
Yeah, he's good.
Cool.
He does all the post games as well. He's got a lot of good content out there.
He's by himself?
Yeah, he's by himself. Yeah.
Oh, that's
hard. That's got to be hard doing it by yourself.
Yeah, it's not easy to do.
In fact, we may try and get him on next year. We'll do a little collab with Eric.
Yeah, he can support us. We can support him. I mean, there's room for everybody.
Yeah. So collab with Kerry Crowley. Yeah, I reached out to Kerry. In fact, I need to get back to Kerry. And so.
Oh yeah, Marty. He said he's willing to come on.
Yeah, Marty. I talked to Marty Lurie yesterday, and we'll get Marty on here within the next few days. We're gonna, like I say, we're gonna be doing a giant show.
FP. Yeah, he's
FP. Yeah. We definitely need to get some guys on here. So we're gonna reach out. I don't think we'll do a show tomorrow unless we do one tomorrow night. I'll be over on Larry Kruger's channel after the Niners-Eagles game. What time's that game tomorrow? 1:30? 1:25?
2:20 our time.
Yeah, 2:20 ours, but is it so 1:25 there in California? So probably be going on Larry's channel. My guess is around 5 o'clock Cali time. Go for an hour and a half, a couple hours probably. Break down the Niners-Eagles game, and then we might, depending on what's going on, we might do a short show tomorrow. We're going to try and hit this Giants thing. We need to, that's our niche. Yep. We cover the Niners, we cover the Warriors, but we're starting to see that, we attract a lot of guys that really want to follow the Giants, and nobody's out there covering the Giants like us. Nobody.
No, nobody.
I mean, there's a couple people that do shows, but they're not. There's a podcast out there, Locked On Giants, but there's no participation in the chat really like this.
It's all pre-recorded. He's not live.
Yeah. So, Dan win, Los and Eric lose maybe.
I'll see you in the playoffs, Faruku, at full strength. I'll see you in the playoffs, dog, when it counts. I'm not like the Cowboys. I win in the playoffs.
Hey, Matt, I'm gonna.
Ooh, man, we're getting some smack talk going here.
That's right.
Let's get some smack talk going. Who's going to be in the playoffs? It's going to be. Pull up those standings real quick again, Eric.
You bet.
Who's going to get left out? who is going to get left out? It's going to be. Oh, wait. We got Cliff Martinez here. We need some Sharks talk. Also, this should cover your movie rental, Dan. Hey, thanks, Cliff. Really appreciate that.
Appreciate it, Cliff.
Very
Awesome,
much
Cliff.
so.
Way to go, man.
Yeah, that was a great movie. We do need some Sharks talk. We'll have to get Ned Coletti on for that.
Yeah, he'll be great because he scouts.
He's
for
a
the
scout.
Sharks.
He's a scout. Yeah. So we're going to pull up those standings. I'm looking at it's going to be, I think Trock probably gets in, or Ryan. Wish he would have changed the name. I think it's going to be the last spot is probably going to be between Will Martinez, MF, and Bora. One of those three guys is going to make that final spot. If I don't know, it all depends on what happens tomorrow. This Trock is playing MF, right?
I think so. Yes.
Let me see. Yeah, MF has to win that game. That's a must win. Yeah. I don't know. Who's playing Go Buck? Oh, whoa, Bora and Will Martinez are playing. So the winner,
Yes.
the loser of that one is in trouble.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Bora loses, he's done. Will could still hang in there, depending on what happens with MF and Ryan. So, and then Bora and Will Martinez and I play the last week. So I got to win tomorrow. I got to win because I don't want to have it come down to the last week and end up losing 2 in a row. So we'll see. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining NorCal Sports Network
Yeah.
for your Giants talk, Warriors talk, 49ers talk. But we are the station, the channel to turn to for honest evaluations of the San Francisco Giants. We're not going to blow smoke up, you know what. We're going to tell it like it is. We're going to tell you, we're going to shoot straight. We're going to tell you, hey, this team's improved. Farhan has done a great job. He's moving in the right direction. Or we're going to tell you, you know what, Farhan's doing Farhan things again. And we're going to tell you that if they strike out in these, building this roster this winter, we'll tell you that this is going to be a long season again. So there's hope. We always hunt a hope. Hope springs eternal.
Hope springs eternal. Exactly.
Every spring, every team gets their hopes up. But as I get older, I'm starting to learn that you can kind of not get too hopeful when you look at a roster like the Giants currently have. When I was a young kid and the Giants stunk in the 70s, I still thought they were going to win the whole thing every year. Because I thought, man, Ed Goodson, we are loaded. Man, we had Rennie Stennett after he was washed up pretty much. And, all the guys that I thought, oh, man, these guys are great.
Look what Tyler Burbeck says. Are you saying that this? Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
That was such a letdown on the trade deadline, man. God.
Yeah, it was. But anyway, senior saw Ed Goodson. You remember Ed Goodson? Yeah, Ed Goodson. Yeah, lefty. Third baseman, first baseman. Whew. Anyway, John D'Acquisto, though. That was my guy. John D'Acquisto, John the Count Montefiusco.
That was your guy.
Ed Halicki. What a staff, huh? Who was my guy?
Montefiusco was your guy.
Yeah, number 26, I believe. John the Count Montefiusco. Threw a no-hitter against Atlanta, I recall. Yep. Anyway, guys, we go back a ways. This is Giants station to come to. Join us. Definitely be back by Monday, if not tomorrow night, okay? Get your notification bells on. Hit the like button if you would. Please help us get to 1,000.
29 away.
Get
29.
your kids' phones, your wife's phones, your girlfriend's phones, your whatever. Just take their phone. Just say, hey, can I just borrow? I want to just subscribe to NorCal Sports Network. We just want to get those subs over 1,000, and then we'll grow from there because YouTube will push us out further and start, we'll get monetized, everything. There we go. That's what we need. So everybody, go tell your friends. You got your significant others. You got your family members. Just grab, everybody's got a phone today. Tell them if they want to keep their phone, they got to subscribe to NorCal Sports Network.
Oh, don't forget, future guests. We got Marty Lurie. We got a San Francisco Giant player.
Current Giants player that will be hopefully.
Next week.
We didn't get this wrapped up yet this weekend. I was hoping to wrap it up, but we're working on that. We got Marty. We've always got Larry that will join us, and we will be going live again, if not tomorrow, Monday. Until then, everybody have a great Sunday, and go Niners!
Bang, bang. Go get that win.